I mean, nobody's here yet, but for those of you watching in the future, welcome back to Katarina's Garage. My name is Katarina Lloyd, and we're doing another live stream. You may see on the thumbnail, just like, "Ooh, there's something kind of cool under the hood of my car." It's like, yes, there is. That was just for the thumbnail, though. I do have this little turbo, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it because I think it's too small to actually utilize on my car. I'm pretty sure it is. But I got it for free, so just like, why not? I'll just keep it around and see. Maybe I'll find something to do with it, but for now, it'll just stay around and in pictures and stuff like that. Because, yeah, I probably won't give it away or anything like that. Who knows, I might, but not right now. My last giveaway, which I still need to get out to Mark, is not sent out yet. So, and I'm pretty broke at the moment. But, there's exciting stuff down the pipeline. I see one person has hopped in. Hello, people who is watching. Seeing I get it. That's better. I'm not sure who's watching, but how are you doing? Hope you're enjoying your weekend. I know I have been so far. Have actually quite a few exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. With building my car and with working on other cars and stuff like that. Being able to potentially film other vehicles as well, which will be freaking fantastic and give a lot more diversity to my channel. Because coming out probably in the next few days, I did a video on a 1989 Nissan Sentra. And it's like one of the most, how do I put this? That car was so, almost perfect. Near mint example. It had a little bit of rust, but there was, almost no wear on the interior or anything like that. If that thing was detailed, the little bit of rust fix, which should only probably cost you about $1,000 to completely do this, you'd have one look like it just came off the showroom floor. It is just like, holy crap, this thing is just mint. And the girl who owns it, she's a pretty cool little chick, actually. She's 18. And yeah, I saw the car for sale, and now she's keeping it, which is cool. She's going to fix it up and stuff like that. And the thing only has 59,000 kilometers on it. So I can't wait for that video to be out to you guys. It's currently uploaded, but it's not public yet. So, yeah. I don't want to release a bunch of videos at the same time, right? I got to space them out a little bit because you do multiple videos in a day. I mean, granted, yeah, there's a YouTube short up right now from today. There's this live, but I don't really consider those as much because, the live videos, for example, they don't have the longevity as, the regular video does, and you don't want to burn people out, so, that's fine. And the shorts, they're less than a minute long, so I don't really count those either. But yeah. Anyways, I'm not sure who is watching right now, but, hi. Because, yeah, it doesn't actually tell me who's watching, it just says there's one person watching. But, yeah, hopefully more people come in as well and start chatting, because it gets a little hard to do these live streams when it's just me chatting and there's nobody talking, right? Oh, there we go. And actually, I should change this to live chat. There we go. Because I always want to change that little feature. Oh, and we had 3 temporarily, and now we're back down to 1. That's that. But that might just be YouTube screwing up, too, because they do that. It showed that my last live showed we had 0 people for, 20 minutes, and yet, well, people were chatting in the chat, so... But, yeah, no, it's, very exciting stuff. Probably saw my little YouTube short, potentially. I mean, you may not have, but, I am going to be working on the Cosworth Vega, actually, probably next weekend. So, gonna attempt to pull the motor and the tranny and all that different stuff. So, yeah, it should be really exciting, and I can't wait for that, to be honest. Working on that car, and then I'm gonna see if I can convince Paul. If there's enough space, I'll have to go to his house, go to his garage first and see how much space there is. Because if there is enough space, I'm gonna ask him if I can tow the Civic there and we work on it there as well as the Cosworth, right? So yeah, just to get some progress on that car because it's just, god, I just haven't had the motivation to do it myself, you know. And my dad doesn't really have the energy to do it, so you know, it's just, yeah. Sometimes with cars, I'd like to have somebody else there, and just working on it myself is just tedious at times, right? I mean, like today, that wasn't the end of the world. That was fine. What I did to my own car. But you know what I mean? And especially when the Civic isn't technically my car. Like, if it was my car, I'd be much more motivated to work on it. Even though, yes, it's a car that I will be able to drive whenever I want. However, it's not technically mine. So, yeah. And actually, I just want to check something. Oh. Somebody started a live stream on Instagram. So, yeah. And there's still only one person here. It makes it tough to do this. But, I'll slug on now. Yeah. And as well, I got offered a free stereo for my car. It came out of a 1980. It's an AM FM Philco. So that'll actually fit my car better than the AM FM cassette that I have from the 82 Escort GT that I picked out of the junkyard. So I might actually have some tunes in my car soon-ish. We'll see. If I can get the stock stereo out, then yeah, I'll get the stereo functional in my car again. Which would be nice, because I haven't had a functional stereo since I bought the damn thing. And it's an AM radio in my car. But, yeah. I keep seeing people popping in and out, in and out, in and out. And it's like, come on, just stay around. Need people to talk to. Because, yeah, it's talking to myself here, pretty much, right? I need to set this up for guests and stuff like that, but that's not going to happen. At least not yet. I need to be inside my house for that, to set it up properly, because I'll set it up like on my phone, and then as well I'll have the computer as well in front of me, so it'll be much easier to figure stuff out. It's like when I do the live streams with Novitaz, you know, now, because my dad has laptops, which is fine. I don't mind that, but yeah. And thank you for the like on the video. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, just nobody's chatting. Who's that? Not actually, but you know. Somebody please talk. But as well, like something I'm gonna talk about as well is the progression that I've gotten on YouTube since I started. Because I started my YouTube channel, technically my first video was back in 2014 or something like that. So long time ago, but that's not when I really did daily uploads, or not. Shouldn't say daily uploads, but regular uploads, right? Because I don't do daily uploads. I had, well, put it this way: exactly 1 year ago, I had 100 subscribers. Now I'm at 1,109 subscribers, and I am monetized now. Which, I mean, I've only made, I think, like $20 off of YouTube, but still, it's pretty exciting, honestly. And we're just trying to figure everything out with taxes and stuff like that with this, because it's an American entity, but I'm Canadian, and they're asking for stuff that I don't quite understand. So, consulting tax experts to see what am I supposed to do here, right? So, yeah, but I mean, I can't actually cash out to $100 anyway, so it's fine. You know. But that is very exciting, and right now I have 1,109 subscribers, which I never thought I'd get to this point, especially this quickly. You know, I always thought my channel would stay like really, really small, and you know, not really have a big base or anything like that. And I've had videos that have just exploded in popularity, but not like viral or anything like that. Because if I was viral, I'd have more than 1,000 subscribers. But you know, it's just one of those deals that I'm very excited for the future and everything like that. And basically, like, how I grew my channel more, like, yes, obviously people loving my content helps out immensely, but at the same time is getting your content out there as much as you can helps you out a lot more too. Because at the very least, you get the watch time hours. You might not get the subscribers, but you get the watch time hours from content that, at least you have shared around. Like for me, I'm a part of over 150 groups on Facebook, and the bulk of those are just to post my YouTube videos. Although I do chat and stuff like that in them as well, or at least some of them. But for the most part, it's just there for free advertising for me, right? Because I don't know if I'll ever be at a point where I'm gonna pay for advertising on Facebook, or pay for advertising in general, unless if there was, like I have merch or something like that, which is not gonna be for a long time. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's another person here. Hi, other person. And you're gone again. Damn it. This is not making this easy at all. Of people coming in and leaving, and there's only one person right now that isn't talking. Which it's fine that you're not talking. It's just I understand you just want to listen to me, and that's really cool. But it just helps out when people talk a little more. Hey, Michael, there you are. I'm doing pretty good. Actually, if you saw the thumbnail for this video, you'll notice, well, I got a thing last night. Now, I think it's probably too small for my motor anyways, but I got it for free, so I'm not going to complain. It's a turbo. Look at how cute it is. It's so small. So small. Like, this might be like a 38, maybe a 40 millimeter turbo, but I think it's too small for my application. And, but I have it. So, yeah, we'll see what I do with it. 100%. Whether I keep it, whether, I end up just giving it away or something. I don't know. Because this is a IHI turbo. It's off a 3-liter diesel. So, yeah, that's about the bulk that I know about it. I can look up the tag, I guess. Because it says AS1203 for OS4. So this is an AS12 turbo, I guess? I don't know. Like, genuinely, I have no idea what I'm looking at with turbos. I really don't, unless it's, like, stamped. Yeah, I mean, but I'm not sure if I could actually make that work. Because I actually need to measure this out. Because if it's not 2 1/4, it makes it difficult. Although I do want to, actually, because it would be nice to be able to mount this under the hood, and where the EGR is. Because I still have the EGR valve on my car. And what might happen is, because I'm attempting to remove it, it's just bolts are so rusty. I got some new penetration oil, so hopefully that'll do it. I just need the car to cool down and then spray it, and then I'm gonna let it sit overnight and tackle it tomorrow. To see if I can get the stock EGR valve off, or at least the piping and everything off. Because I want to retain the stock manifold just so that it'd be easier to mount a turbo onto the stock manifold. Right? So, we shall see. Because, yeah, if you guys don't know, I mean, I'm keeping the inline 6 in my car. Gonna build it out. I'm gonna do exhaust, cam, turbo, and a carburetor. And we'll see if I'll be able to utilize this turbo or not. Because it might be a little too small. It'll spool up very quickly. But, and also, I mean, I'm not wanting to make a ton of boost either. Like, maybe 6 to 8 pounds of boost at the maximum anyways. And this turbo might be perfect for that. But I don't know for sure, and I'll have to talk to people that know a little more about this than I do. Of, the right turbo for your car and stuff like that. Because, yeah, I don't want this thing to, like, grenade itself. Yeah, oh, exactly. It really is. For my little car, like, basically, I absolutely love, whether it's to the crank or to the wheels, preferably to the wheels, that I can make the same power as the later Fox bodies, right? And this was my initial plan with the car. Although I wasn't thinking about turboing it then, but I was going to do it NA, but now with the turbo, it makes it a little easier to do. And those motors respond incredibly well to boost. So, I just hope that my Autolite carb, which should be okay for this, will be good to do a blow-through setup that way. So we shall see. You know, I got to talk to people that know a little more about this than I do, because my knowledge is very limited when it comes to turboing or forced induction of any kind. I just know that, hey, you put more air in the motor, makes more power, right? It's how it works. So, which and I wonder, like, will I have to upgrade my fuel system if I do this too? I don't know. We'll see. Which and also, I fixed the fuel leak in my car finally. It's been leaking for like over a month, and I decided, you know what? Since I'm keeping the inline six, I should fix that. So I bought a gasket the other day, and it took me about half an hour to get everything situated, because I needed to, you know, take off the original gasket that was on the block of the car. So yeah, because the fuel leak was from the fuel pump, gasket actually. And I found out though that I don't think I actually needed to replace the gasket. I probably could have just tightened the bolts, but whatever. It was $4. I don't care. But yeah, and actually I did have. Anyways, what I ordered is not what I actually got. Luckily, I ordered it through Napa, so I could just return it really easy, not have to worry about sending it back or anything like that. Because a carburetor adapter for my motor. Because I ordered, you know, a nice 2-barrel adapter to a 1-barrel system, right? Perfect, right? Should have been fine. Well, what they sent me, it looked like it was almost a carb spacer, like a big spacer about that thick, for my 1-barrel carburetor, I think is what they did. So yeah, that didn't work out at all. So I returned that today, and now I have this, you know, newer penetrating oil, and hopefully I can get that EGR stuff off, and it'll be Gucci. And then once the EGR stuff's off, I will tackle the exhaust, which I'm not going to do a ton on the exhaust, to be honest. Just going to chop off the catalytic converter, put an aftermarket muffler in it. Probably just going to go with like a thrust turbo muffler for now, and keep the standard 2 1/4 exhaust for now. But then later on, I am going to probably switch it to like a, I don't know, 2.5 inch. Once it's like turbo and shit like that, right? I'll have to redo a lot of the stuff anyways then, but still, you know, it'll be fun. It'll be very fun when I'm done with it. There we go. And make sure to keep hydrated. But yeah, no, you know, and something actually, because, and I'm gonna shout him out again, because why not? He's a good guy and everything. I met him a few weeks ago, and I've been following his YouTube channel for a while. He is Mongrel's Garage here on YouTube. He's only got, at this point, I think it's 50 or 51 subscribers. For anybody watching this, and everybody watching this in the future, go and subscribe to him, and just tell him in one of his videos that, hey, I sent you, right? Because that little thing, I'm sure, will make his day absolutely. I know I've already gotten him about, I think, like 4 subscribers just today. So any more would be absolutely awesome. And as well, for those of you watching, because I see there's now 6 viewers, which I appreciate all of you coming out. If you can hit the like button, it just helps get the video out to more people and stuff like that. It costs nothing, and yeah, helps me out immensely. But yeah, other than that, you know, like I mentioned earlier, for those of you that weren't here, I'm going to be working on, if you have seen the video, you might not have yet, it is out there and it has quite a few views, but you know, it's not one of my most popular videos by any stretch of the imagination, of the Cosworth Vega. I'm actually going to be working on that car probably next weekend, actually, because he wants to pull the motor, pull the tranny out, everything like that, and fix the driveline vibration issue that he has. And hopefully that doesn't take us too long, and then, because I am going to ask him too, because he likes working on cars and stuff like that, but he just doesn't have reliable people anymore to work on cars. And just like, well, hey, I may not have the experience of like pulling motors and stuff like that, but I'm willing to help you out and stuff like that. And he was very much appreciative of that. And what we do is going to be documented here for you guys on YouTube. So I can't wait for that. It'll be very exciting. Um, and yeah, so we'll end up getting a not necessarily motor swap video, but fixing up a Cosworth Vega, which there's only 3,508 of those cars made. Of those 3,508, there's only about 1,000 left in existence, and of those 1,000, only between 400 to 600 still exist, running and driving and registered. So it is very exciting, and especially to work on something that special, because a lot of people will go their entire lives and never see a car like that, right? And I do count myself very blessed to be able and experience a car like that. And when I drove it, it was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had in a car, bar none. Actually, it's not one of it is the most fun experience I've ever had in a car. Being able to drive a small car that, granted, is not super fast by any stretch of the imagination. The thing weighs about 2,550 pounds and has, the 5-speed manual. Oh, hey, Mr. Buckwine, how's it going? Appreciate you coming out. Like that car, had the first electronic fuel injection for any GM vehicle, and the first 5-speed manual, at least in a Chevrolet, because I think the Opel GT got the 5-speed manual first, but it did not have the same motor as what the Vega did, so there's that. And the car made its 110 horsepower, and with a 373 rear gear. This one did not have limited slip though, and they were a very expensive car back in the day. Like, these Cosworth Vegas were about $800 shy of the base price of a Corvette back then, right? So very expensive for a little Vega, and there's a reason why they only made them for 2 years, 1975, 1976. But in 1976, you can get them in more colors than just black and gold. You can get them like silver. I think you can get them in red, and there's a couple other colors, white as well. I think something like that. But yeah, so that'll be very exciting to work on that car and probably get to drive it again. So that's a win. But I want to convince him, and I'm sure I can with Paul. To be honest, he seems like a really chill dude. That I can get my car, like, not Stitch. Papa Smurf, which is the Civic, that 78 Civic that I have in front of the house. That if I can get it towed to Olds to his place, and if we can work on it and actually get it properly functional. So, at the very least to where, because I want to drive the car, but I just don't have as much of the energy or the time to work on it myself. If I had somebody's help, it'd be much better for that, because it's just my dad, even though it's his car, he just doesn't have the energy at all to work on it, so it's kind of sad. Oh, hey, Waste of Talent Fabrications, happy to see you here. Actually, I was just in a live stream with him the other night over on Stuff with Cletus's channel, and that was a fun time. That was a very long live stream, but I wasn't there for the full time. I was there for about an hour and a half before it was finally shut down. But that went on for like 6 hours, so very long, fun live stream. But yeah, anyways, welcome to the live stream. I appreciate you coming up. So you may have seen in the thumbnail as well, because I will mention this whenever I see new people in the chat, stuff like that. So for those of you that heard this, I apologize. Well, you may have seen in the thumbnail of my video that there'd be a Turbski in my life. Nice little tiny turbo. It's off of an IHI, like an international 3-liter diesel, right? So it's a tiny little diesel. But this, hopefully, will work for my car. So, and I got it for free. It's fantastic. It's actually in really good shape. Like, you can spin the, there's zero play. Actually, there's a tiny bit of play. But really hardly any, but there's always going to be a tiny bit of play in a turbo anyways. But this turbo, yeah, it's pretty good. So I'm just spinning the turbine right now. and it's good. Honestly, the inside is like fairly clean and everything. It's just been collecting dust in his garage for a while, but yeah. So hopefully this can get mounted on my car soon. Um, Along with doing the exhaust upgrades and all that different stuff, and, basically make the car hopefully make within the vicinity of a stock 5-liter Mustang and the later 5-liter Mustangs, like Fox bodies, anyways. So like the '93, which made about 2.25 horsepower, and like I think it was 310 foot-pounds, something like that. If I can be anywhere close to that, I'd be absolutely ecstatic with my car. And as well, because the whole vision of the car has kind of changed after the previous weekend, where I was going to put a 302 in the car, but obviously that's not happening anymore. And yeah, there was just a bunch of information that I didn't really get from him beforehand, and he's just going to end up selling the motor, which is fine, honestly. It's probably a fantastic motor, but he was scared that it wasn't going to be reliable for me. And it's like, well, I mean, I've revived motors in the past. Like, for example, my car, it sat for 2 years. And it's not like it really got, hey, little test drives around town. No, we drove it to Olds. So, like, the first time it was properly driven, it was driven to Olds. Because, yeah, I drove it around the block, but that's not the same thing. You're not getting to the RPMs that you need to test out everything. So, yeah, and that was, back in when I first drove my car around the block. That was in 2019, actually. So, yeah, and then the thing sat for 10 years prior to that. The turbo itself or my motor? Because I know the motor will take, and with its current configuration, it can take up to, I think, 10 pounds stock. But, I mean, this little turbo will probably only put out 5 or 6, which is more than enough for my little car. So, I don't know. I'll have to look up the specs of this turbo because I really don't know. Unless if somebody wants to look it up here. I can read off the part number and the specs number of it to one of you guys. And maybe you can tell me what this turbo is capable of. Because it did come off a diesel, so... No, really not, actually. And the thing is, like, the Ford Baby 6s, at least the later ones like mine, have these 7 main caps for the crank, right? So they're actually a very durable engine. Bottom end, anyways, they're fantastic. And the top end is fine too, because you're not really pushing it that hard. Like, with this turbo on it and stuff like that, yeah, will I drive it? Obviously, and I'm going to have fun and kind of hooning around a little bit, but I'm not going to drive it so hard that I'm braking it constantly, right? Because that's not what I do with a car, I'll have, like, fun for, maybe about 20 minutes or something like that, but then I won't really do much with the car in relation to fun for, like, a week, right? And then go do that again, and, back. It's a constant cycle like that, right? But I do want to, like, especially when it's built the way I want it to be, at least concerning that stuff, I would love to put it on, like, a slalom and take it down the drag strip and stuff like that, too. So hopefully I can bring you guys that content in the future of doing that, because that would be very, very exciting. And, yeah, because I've always wanted to go racing, but I never have. Like, I don't count go-karts in that, because I've driven go-karts loads of times. But, yeah. Oh, hey, Stacy, how's it going? I appreciate you dropping by live stream. Huh. Totally lost what I was saying though. Doesn't matter. As you can tell, I am tired. It's been very tired lately. It's just one of these deals. But I've also been super busy. Like, I was out at Greg's, and turns out, some of you might remember, months and months and months ago, I did a video on a 77 Mercury Grand Marquis Coupe. Yeah, oh, for sure. And the thing is, something that was found today on the property, because Greg found them, is the fender skirts for the car. So now it's just like, ooh, that just about doubles the value of the car, of those fender skirts, because people love them, and they're so hard to find now. So it's like, sweet. So we're gonna pull that thing out probably tomorrow. Hopefully get it running, and then I will do an update video on that and relist the car with a better price. Because right now we're only asking $1,500, and it's not running currently or anything like that, and it's kind of buried a little bit in the dirt. So getting it running properly is great. Oh, nice. Well, I wish you luck on that endeavor, because yeah, that'll be exciting for sure. I actually did a little bit of work to my car today as well. I fixed the fuel leak, which was coming from the fuel pump, just the gasket to mount it to the block. Very simple fix, to be honest. Just took me about half an hour, and that half an hour is mostly scraping off the old gasket. So, and now, yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, so now I actually get better fuel economy since it's not leaking anymore. And it's so funny because I would go to like, hey, no worries. Yeah, you'll get it, I'm sure. Because actually, something I was gonna mention is because when I've been to, for example, the No Boys Allowed, I was at one of the car meets that we did, and we were actually just going around to a couple places in Calgary, getting some pictures, and then we ended up going to Peter's for milkshakes. It was great. Great time, honestly. Fantastic time. But one of the ladies was saying, like, they thought that they smelled gas. It's like, oh yeah, that's from my car, don't worry about it. It's carbureted plus leaking gas right now, so no worries, right? And they were a little more concerned than I was, but just like, it's because of the gas where it was coming out. I wasn't too concerned about it. It wasn't near the exhaust, which got super hot. It was along the side of the block, right? And it never caught on fire, so that's right. But yeah, and it's like, and the thing is, liquid gas doesn't catch on fire. It's the actual the gaseous state of gasoline is what catches on fire. So, and also that's what explodes too. Yeah, and that's what most people don't realize is, like, for example, a full tank of gasoline has less likely of a chance to explode or anything like that versus an empty one, right? Because an empty one, with the gaseous state of the fuel, it is very volatile. So yeah, not that I suggest you weld on a gas tank that has a full tank of fuel, anyways. But you know what I mean. I was just putting that out there. But yeah, so there's that. There's the Cosworth, which I'm going to be working on. Hopefully, we'll get the Civic done soon. Once I talk to Paul and stuff like that about his car, and he might be waiting for parts or something like that, so we'll be see if I can tow it down to his place and work on it there, because he's out in Olds, so it's not that far, and it'll be actually a free tow because AMA. So yeah, ooh, we have 8 viewers now. Love it. Thank you all so much for coming out. I definitely appreciate every single one of you coming out and chatting with me, or if you're just listening, that's cool too. Yes. Actually, I will be, and I'll probably end up going to, because I won't design it myself, but I'll basically give the parameters that I need to the machine shop here in town, and they will make me a bracket that I can mount the turbo to, and then I'll run the lines and stuff like that from there. But yeah, it's gonna be a total custom setup, because there's no such thing as a non-custom turbo setup for a Ford inline 6, at least concerning the baby 6s. Maybe over in Australia they might have something, but not here, and not as available to me. So yeah, that's fine. We shall have fun. Photo with my car. I'm listening to. Yeah. Well, Mustang 2 stuff seems to be really expensive compared to the other generations of Mustang. Like, I was surprised actually looking into, for example, like used parts, how much they go for in a Mustang 2. And it's ridiculous. Like, because okay, you could pick up a car for $500 and you can like part it out for over $2,000 if the, like, for example, interior bits are in decent shape. And that just blows my mind. You know, you can do the same thing with a Fox body, but not quite to the same extent unless if you happen to get it really cheap and you have like halo headrests and stuff like that. $500 for a tank. Ouch. Ouch. Like, for reference, I think I can get a gas tank for my car for like $200 if I really wanted to replace it. I'm not gonna, because my gas tank works, but, and it doesn't leak. It's just like, but damn, you know? I'm sure that, I'm sure that there's crap and the debris at the bottom of my tank, but it's not really affecting anything right now. You know, maybe if we fully blow it apart, sure, maybe then I'll replace the gas tank, but until then, you know, or I'll just completely clean it out, maybe put a liner in it and call it good. So that it doesn't leak in the future. But, you know, for now, the car, to my knowledge now, because I think actually, not only was it the gas that was leaking out of the, yeah, see, I would maybe end up doing that as well, because, yeah, although your fuel cell, unless if it's, the problem is with the Mustang 2, they don't have a lot of room in the back, because actually a Mustang 2 is smaller than a Fox body. Although they do weigh a little more than a Fox body, I think. At least the early Fox bodies. But, you know, so getting a fuel cell in the back of one of those, it would take up the entire, like, for any decent size tank, would fill up a majority of your storage space. So, and that's kind of the struggle, like, you know, with a lot of stuff, because people say, oh, you should put a stereo in your car. Just like, yeah, okay, but I'm not putting like subwoofers or anything like that, because I still want to use the trunk, even though, yes, my trunk is not very big, it hardly holds anything, but I still want to use it and utilize it, because it's like my buddy Cody's S550 Mustang, which is, you know, the newest generation. His is 2020 California Special. He put a sub box in the trunk, and it's like, now he's got about that much space approximately to actually put shit in the trunk now, and it's just like, it doesn't really, that doesn't appeal to me. I like a good stereo and stuff like that, but if I have to sacrifice that, I'm not doing it. You know, I would much rather like put it underneath the rear seat or something like that, you know, something along those lines, right? Which you can do actually pretty easily in a Fox body. Because in my car, it's not hard to get the rear seat out. In fact, my rear seat isn't even bolted in. I should probably bolt it in, because a few weeks ago when I went up to Edmonton, coming back, yeah, that's fair. Because I was coming back from Edmonton actually, and it was late at night. It was about 10:30 or so. Yeah, that's true too. But I was gonna say, actually, coming back from Edmonton, and it's kind of ironic that it was a Fox, considering I'm driving a Fox body, but there was a Fox that jumped out in the middle of the highway on me, and I slammed on the brakes of the car, like, really hard on them. I was surprised my brakes didn't lock up, because that's the hardest I've ever slammed on the brakes, but they did not. So I don't think my brakes will actually ever lock up on me. But anyways, so when that happened, I look back after I go down the road about 5 kilometers, and hey, look, the back of my seat, like for the back seat, actually came forward and got out of its mounts. So I'm like, crap. Okay, so I put that back together, you know, I'll hastily along the side of the highway, and soldiered on. But it's just like, God, you know, that damn Fox, you know, made us had to fix my car. It didn't take me long. It was about 5 minutes of fumbling around with that. But yeah, because like the Fox bodies, it's interesting. At least the notchbacks, because the hatchbacks are a totally different seat design, but the notchbacks, because they don't fold down, it's two separate pieces, because you have the back and you have the bottom. And the thing is, so to get the, technically when it's fully bolted in and everything, to get the back of the seat out, what you first have to do is the bottom side of the seat, you have to pull it up. And like really hard, actually, you have to yank on the damn thing. And then you'll expose the two bolts that are holding in the top of the seat, right? You take those two bolts out, and then there's, I think, about 6 or so, not quite springs, but they're just these straight pieces of metal anyways that go into the bodywork. You just pull it upwards, and it comes out, right? It's pretty simple to do, honestly. But I don't have the bolts in it, so that's why it came forward out. And yeah, like compared to where the hatchbacks, they'll actually fold down, they don't in that. I wish they folded down, because it would make utilizing space so much better, but no, they don't. That's fine. I could probably put in a seat that folds down. I just haven't done it. You know, and yeah. Like I can find one, I'm sure, out of a hatch Fox body and modify it to work. And then cut out, because there's actually a support in the trunk that goes sideways like that in behind the seat, and I could probably cut that out and it'd be fine, because it's welded in. But that little bracing, it's not very thick, and I don't think it's actually holding the car together by any stretch of the imagination, so I can probably cut it out and be fine. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see if I even end up doing that or not, because yeah, it's just one of those things where I have so many ideas and plans with the car, but you know, you shrubbered to me. I think that's supposed to say subscribed. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know, every little bit counts. So now I think if you just subscribe to me, I think I am now at 1,010 subscribers. So definitely appreciate it. By the way, my name is Katarina, not Katrina. Everybody gets that wrong. They always spell it wrong, even though it's on the damn letterhead. But you know, I'm not too worried about it though. I get it all the time. That's why, for the most part, I just tell people, hey, just call me Kat. It just works better, right? And yeah, and actually as well, somebody else I'm gonna shout out too, because you know, why not? Community, not competition. There's actually this kid. He's 15 years old, and he had his first live stream yesterday, and he went for almost 2 hours, actually. I was there for about an hour of it, because I had to go and, you know, car meet here in town, right, that I actually help run, so I kind of had to be there. There you go. Perfect. But yeah, he is Teen Mechanic here on YouTube. Now, he's only 15 years old, but he's actually had more cars than I have had, and I'm 25. So, yeah, he currently has 4 vehicles in his stable, although he's selling one for sure. He's probably going to end up selling the LTD as well, because he has a 1982, I believe, Ford LTD sedan that is actually a very clean car overall. Like, it's got a bunch of, you know, when a car is stored forever in a garage and people just bash shit into it, that's what happens. I can try. Can I do this? No, I really can't, because like right now I am on my phone doing this, right? I don't have a computer in front of me to try and put something into the chat, which is a problem. I mean, I'm outside right now. I don't have my laptop here because it's actually with my dad, I think. Actually, it might be inside. It might be inside. You can't say the SU word? Oh, well, I mean, to be honest, I try and keep any cursing to a minimum in the chat. But, yeah. But, I mean, I can post links in the chat. It's all fine. I don't think I have, if you post links, flagged for my YouTube. I can't remember for sure, but, Yeah, oh, it's fantastic here. It's like 20 degrees Celsius, and it's wonderful. Although being in the shade, it's a little cooler. But, you know, yeah, it's nice. Like, I was actually kind of sweating working on my car earlier today, which, to think, it's, middle of September, almost late September. And I'm actually, like, perspirating working on my car. But, yeah, it's pretty neat. And, it's been kind of nice. And actually, I wonder. Hang on. I'll see if I can find my laptop really quickly. I'll be back in a second. Ah, darn it. Nope. There we go. I am now back. So yeah, unfortunately, my dad has the laptop with him at work. So, yeah. Oh well. Not the end of the world. And my actual laptop takes so long to boot up. I'm not gonna go grab that one. But yeah, that's all fine. And it's very old. It's a Lenovo laptop with an AMD E1 processor. So yeah, with like 1.7 gigahertz. It's terrible. Just a terrible computer. But I never use it. I use my desktop instead. However, I wanted to do this out here, so I'm not exactly lugging a monitor and my computer out here just to do that, right? It would be kind of pointless. But it's all good. But yeah. Ah, frick. It's a little better. But yeah, so I can't wait for the stuff in the future, and I'm so amazed at how quickly I've grown my channel. Because, like I mentioned earlier, I was at 100 subscribers 1 year ago. I am now at 1,110, I think, now, which is absolutely incredible to think about. Because there's a lot of people that do this for years, and they are not monetized yet, right? And like from what I've heard is most people that do this don't get monetized for like 3 or 4 years. So for me to be monetized now is just incredible. That's why like earlier on in the stream I shouted out Mongrel's Garage here on YouTube as well. It's a very small channel. I shouted him out on my Instagram and actually here on YouTube as well in a YouTube post. But I forgot. I should have posted the link to his channel though. Yeah, and that just amazes me because I think I'm at 192 uploads right now too. So, which 5 of those or 4 of those are not now that. Oh yeah. But as well because like I worked extremely hard to build my channel into what it is right now, to get monetized in that amount of time. Now, my goal wasn't to get monetized, to be honest. It was just to have fun on YouTube. But I wanted to get it everywhere, right? Well, hey, I definitely appreciate it, Stacy, because, yeah, and here's the thing. My channel, unless I get picked up by, like, Motor Trend or something like that, which is highly, highly unlikely to get, like, a major sort of thing like that, you're going to see the same content from me for a long time. I'm not going to do very edit-heavy videos. There will be some where, yeah, there's going to be a lot more editing and stuff like that. But I do like the raw style of my channel. Oh, hey, Bryce, how's it going? Appreciate you coming out to the live stream. He's actually another guy that he was with that. I think he came from that live stream on Cletus's channel as well. So, which that was a fun time, to be honest. And where over at Cletus's channel, it's not censored whatsoever. Um, on mine, I tend to try and do a little more censorship, just because my videos, I do want for anybody to watch them. So even my live streams, right? But I still have fun, and I will set up in the future live streams where people can come join up and chat actually with me here on the screen. It's just those are the ones I'll do inside. The ones out here, obviously, I can't really set that up. So, yeah. Oh, fellow Ford guy, cute. I love my Fords. You know, because I have my 81 Mustang, which is my only car that's actually registered right now. So, and I'll be driving her through the winter. It'll be fun. But yeah. And because I'm keeping the inline six now, and because I'm kind of wanting to do this to where, hey, it's nice to be able to have assistance, but like I won't have to require like, oh my god, custom fabrication stuff for my car as much. There still will be some, but I'm probably going to keep it an automatic and swap to an AOD tranny versus the C4 that's currently in it. I was going to do a T5, which might still be in the books later on, but for now, I just want it to be where, hey, I can do this in an afternoon, no big deal. I don't have to do any custom fabrication to make all of this work. So, yeah. And it's not hard to swap an automatic tranny. It is much harder to swap a manual tranny, though. Yeah. So, it'll be fun, though. It'll definitely be fun. I just need to locate an AOD tranny. But the AOD isn't high on my list right now. Hey, how's it going? I would say your name, but it's a weird name, so I'm not gonna say it. But hi, how's it going? Appreciate you coming out to the live stream. See. Yeah, see, Texas is a little too far for me to go to. I'm here in central Alberta, in a small town called Sundre, Alberta. So, yeah. Texas is like probably, I don't know, 3,000, 3,500 kilometers from here, something like that, depending on where you are in Texas. But somewhere along those lines, I'm sure. Which, I've never driven my car quite that far. Like, yes, I've driven my car to Edmonton back in the day. I drove my convertible to Medicine Hat back in the day. But I miss my convertible. So much. Like, this is perfect weather for a convertible, but I appreciate it, Stacy. Thank you. Because, yeah, I mean, right now, like, it's not a super high concern just because I'm a little broke with finding an AOD at the moment, but I am searching for one. It's just not like hey, I need it right now. Oh, you're in Medicine Hat. Okay. Cool. Yeah, when I went to Medicine Hat, that was, I mean, I still had Lilo, my convertible. That was, I believe, back in March, I want to say? March or maybe April. It wasn't a super warm day or anything like that, so there wasn't any snow on the ground, but see, and honestly, that is my style. Like, I am that way, but it's all good. Because yeah, like there are lots of times with my car, for example, it's like I don't know if this thing's gonna make it. Like, not this one. Stitch has been perfectly reliable. She has her stumbles, but she's never not started, excluding the cold start video, which it hit minus 42 days prior. It was minus 26. It did not want to start. But that's the only exception to her not starting every time. But yeah, and especially once I get that new carburetor on it and actually have the choke functional, because it's not functional right now. The choke is actually zip tied open because it's an electronic choke. It melted the power wire. And it's not because it touched the thing or anything like that. But like it didn't. I don't think it touched the manifold, but I just think it had too much power to it and it melted the connector. So it's fine. We'll figure that out when we get down that road with the carburetor swap. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, and I mean, I might actually have a functional stereo in my car, which will be exciting. Fairly soon. Because as long as we can, I don't know. I'll ask Derek maybe, because I got a message from my friend of mine, Derek Patterson, today, and said, "Hey, my dad has a AM/FM Philco stereo out of a 1980 Mustang. I don't know if you'd be interested in it." But, it's just sitting around, and it's like, yeah, I would be interested. And I just asked, depending on how much it is. And just like, oh, just take it, honestly. It's been sitting in the basement for like 35 years. I'm like, free I like. So I'm going to be heading to Calgary tomorrow just for a stereo. Totally worth it, though. Totally worth it. In the process, though, who knows? I'm going to see about getting videos done while I'm in Calgary as well. So it's not just all for, hey, my car, but also for the channel as well. Because there's a guy in Calgary, and I just texted him before the live stream. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but there is a really cool Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution. Now, you might not know what that is. And those were they were built for the Dakar Rally, and they dominated it. Because I'm pretty sure if you take an Evo and then basically build it into an SUV and make it the ultimate off-roader, that's what the Pajero Evolution is. So it is an incredible car. They made well over 300 horsepower, and there's not very many of them around. So I've got the guy's phone number, and hopefully I'll get to film that tomorrow. If not, maybe I can stop in Irkana and do the British car collection that's out there. Because the guy has a Rover P6 from 1966. Very cool car, honestly. I had never seen one in person until I saw that one at the New Horizon Mall car show the one time. And he's also got a 53 Bel Air, but then his dad has a Jensen Interceptor and a couple other cars too. So yeah, that'll be exciting for the channel as well, because I love to diversify my stuff. I don't just stay with one thing. I like to do multiple. So that, if you come here, and it's still based on my Fox body a lot of the time, but you get to see more stuff than just that. Just like, and in the next few days, probably in like 2 or 3 days, oh yeah, okay, so you're down in Lethbridge. Okay, I didn't realize where you were. I've been to Street Wheelers, albeit not since I've been driving. But I grew up in Lethbridge. I lived there from, I think it was 2002. Either 2000 or 2002, something like that, right up until 2016, 2017, and that's when I moved here. So, I know all about Street Wheelers. It's fantastic, to be honest. I always recommend people to go there if they can, because it is amazing. And the entire town gets taken over by cars for a weekend, right? And anything and everything you'll see down there. Ah, okay, you're in Tabor. Okay, yeah, I mean, still, that's basically Lethbridge, even though it's like half an hour outside Lethbridge, but still, it's basically Lethbridge. Yeah, half hour, 45 minutes, something like that, but still, yeah. I've been out to Tabor quite a few times too, so I know exactly where that is. But yeah, I do plan on it. I planned on it this year, and it just didn't end up happening. But next year, hopefully, I'll have a little more money, and stuff like that. Well, the thing is, because this year, and the reason I think why it was busier is because last year, unofficially it didn't happen, but it did actually happen last year because a bunch of people came into town when Street Machine Weekend would have been going on, and it was huge. You know, because that's when all the restrictions started to come down, and they did not have any proper stuff for it. But people just cruising around in their cars, hey, that's perfectly legal. But you stop and have a car show, that wasn't as legal at the time because you know all the COVID restrictions and stuff like that, and which we're getting more of those now. So yay! Because I think come tomorrow we're limited in a capacity to 200 people in a space, which you can get around that by you know having like conglomerate like 50 here, 50 here, 50 here, 50 here, right? You can kind of do it that way and get away with it, but you know we'll see. Hopefully next year COVID is all gone and we don't have to talk about it anymore, and we can go back to mostly normal. So yeah, you're just hoping. You can go. Okay, thank you, Wasp. See, that's the big problem with doing the lives out here is you get like bugs and crap like that that fly at you and around you. Never had a bird yet. I'm waiting for a bird. You know, my live streams. But as well, and then when it gets too cold out here, I usually transfer to the car and just sit in there and enjoy myself. But right now, it's perfectly fine. But yeah, so other than that, there's not a ton else going on at the moment. Like, there's just a lot of stuff in the pipeline, but nothing like, hey, I'm gonna go do this. Plus, I mean, there's also that brand new Supra that I still have to go review up in Edmonton as well. I really do want to do that. It's just the money to get there and back, because that's a full tank. Actually, that's a little over a full tank of gas for me. So, and I'm perpetually broke, which is always a struggle. So, you know, it's fine. I'll get there though. Yeah, I'll eventually start making more money again. But then as well, like with the COVID stuff, that I'm not really, because I don't have regular employment. I mostly just live off of the vehicles I sell for other people and stuff like that. But you know, I'm sure government's probably going to want me to actually get employment fairly soon. I'm expecting a call any day now. But the problem is if I got COVID, it's really bad. Like my health is not great. Most people that get COVID, chances are they're probably gonna be fine. But with me, I'm asthmatic and my immune system is not the greatest. So yeah, it's not great. I deal with a lot of nausea and I battle mostly nausea is what I deal with on a daily basis. And there's a bunch of other stuff that I deal with too, but that's the big one that limits me a lot. But yeah, it's all good. And there's a reason why, like, when with most people, you know, like people say, well, why don't you just go to school for like mechanics and stuff like that? And it's because I can't actually do it. Like, I can work on my own car and everything like that, but the convenient part of me working on my own car is okay, I can take as much time as I need to. I'm never that rushed to where like, okay, yeah, I gotta do this by the end of the day. I've been in that situation with my car, don't get me wrong, but it's not to that much of a, you know, that way, because yeah, like with my when we were getting the inspections done and stuff like that on it, they needed the seat mount repaired. So I did a repair on it, and then it ended up snapping when my dad drove the car. So I need to repair it again. And it was just because the shitty welder that I was using. I hated that welder. That was a Power Fist welder. It was not a good one. I ended up, like, about a week later picking up a Mastercraft welder that was just so much better. And, yeah. Oh, hey, Brendan's Garage. I appreciate you coming out to the live stream. I've seen you comment on a few of my things, actually. So, yeah. Definitely appreciate you coming out. Yeah, there's 7 of you in the chat now, so that's awesome. And you've all hit the like button. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I will get right on not doing that because I'm probably broker than you. No worries, Stacy. Catch you around. Thank you for coming out. I definitely appreciate it. Because I think of my bank account right now, I have like what? I think it's $60 in my bank right now, and that's supposed to last me till the end of the month. So yeah, I definitely build my stuff with like no money, and I have gotten, for example, services and people, buying parts from me at times. I don't ever ask somebody, "Hey, can you buy me something?" I never ask for that. Um, the only time I have is with my dad, for example, just like, "Well, hey, my birthday's coming up," and yeah, yep, oh yeah, it's wonderful here right now. You say that, but okay. Costco pizza. The closest Costco to me, I think that's Cross Iron Mills, which is an hour away. So to go get $10 pizza, it's gonna take a lot more time. Well, that should be fun. Yeah, do keep us informed of what you're gonna be doing on the cars and stuff like that, because always curious. Yeah. And no, I don't have COVID or anything like that. I'm not sick. That is just my health. That's why I'm drinking so much freaking water. Because actually, I drink a lot of water on a daily basis. And yeah, and usually, like, with these live streams, too, the longer I do them, it seems like the worse I get. Yeah, and I am asthmatic. Which I have bronchial asthma, so there's actually nothing they can do about that, even though they say, "Oh yeah, I take this inhaler, it'll make it better." Not really, because there's literally stuff stuck onto my lungs. I'd have to get a new set of lungs for me to actually be better. So that's why I don't take an inhaler daily, because it actually isn't helping. It's only giving you temporary relief. It's not actually building up your lungs or anything like that. So yeah, at least in my situation. Other times it wouldn't be so bad, but bronchial asthma, gotta love it. But yeah, so like being mechanically inclined, my body is just screwed. Oh well. So actually looking at okay. Yeah, so it comes in through here, the vents up there. Okay, I get it. Pretty simple. Low cost quencher. Well, okay, a 350 is cheap to buy, but you know, however, running one, like, parts wise, they're cheap, obviously, but fuel economy is out the window. That's why I like my Inland 6. It gets 24 miles to the gallon in its current state, even with it needing a carb rebuild, and with it leaking fuel prior to me doing that stuff today, I'd probably get, I think, 26 without it leaking the fuel that it wet. So, and that's imperial miles per gallon, not US, by the way, because there is a difference between the two. And I'm not going to do the conversion because I have no idea what the conversion is. But yeah, one of you can do that yourself if you want to. But yeah, so this turbo will be so much fun to put on the car. Like, I'll probably end up seeing if I can utilize this turbo, just to see. And actually, that is pretty cool. I didn't actually see that comment before of you quitting smoking. That is absolutely fantastic. And after 24 years, I bet you do feel a hell of a lot better. So I know that's definitely a hard thing to do. So congratulations on 3 months. Yeah, because some people, you know, they'll quit and then they'll go again and then quit and then go again and quit and go again. So hopefully you can keep it to where, hey, you're not touching any. So yeah. ah, ugh, I am so tired, both mentally and physically. It's been a long week. Good week, but long week. And I think it's probably gonna be even longer tomorrow because, like I said, I'm probably going to Calgary, pick up stereo, and hopefully do some YouTube videos. But we'll see. You're welcome, Brendan. Yeah. Sorry. My brain. The problem is too with me, is that's fair. Absolutely. I was gonna say the problem with me. Oh, hey, Cletus. Thanks for coming on to the live stream. Hope you enjoy it. And I would have like guests up here, but as you can see, I'm on my phone. There's no computer in front of me to try and set up StreamYard, so yeah, this is just a solo one for now. Maybe my next one I might do with guests when I'm inside. It'll be so much better, to be honest. And yeah, with any luck, should be able to figure it out. To be honest, it's not that hard. But yeah, yeah. But if you notice in the thumbnail, I got something from my car, Miss Heraclitus, because I've got boost. I've got boost. I don't know if this will actually be suitable for my setup, but like for my car, but we'll see. Derpski. Yeah, I can't spin the turbine myself. Yeah, oh, it's a tiny turbo. I mean, like, it came off of an international 3-liter diesel, so... But for my little setup, this might actually be a perfect turbo for it. But I'll talk to people and actually see, A, is this even a good turbo? Because, like, I have no idea. I have to research the numbers on it and see. I just got this today, so... Oh, come on, it's not that small. It's 200 cubic inches. But I mean, you know, if this turbo puts out 5 to 6 pounds of boost, that'd be perfect for what I'm doing. Yeah, absolutely. This was free. I didn't pay for it. You know, a friend of mine was saying, you know, if you want it, we can discuss price. And like I told him, I didn't really want it last night, but then he just left it with me, and then I went to the store and I was gonna give it back to him today. But he just said, "Oh, you can keep the turbo. It's fine." Just like, cool. So I got a free turbo. He was gonna put this on a lawnmower, but now I'm gonna put it on my car and figure out how to do a turbo setup, because I know the basic principle of it. It's really not that hard to do, but you know, I'll need to make sure that this stays properly oiled and stuff like that. Which, where even is the oil return on this? Oh, it's right there. I think that's it. Maybe not. I don't know. I thought it'd be in here, but maybe not. You know. Again, I'm not as familiar with turbos as I'd like to be. Yeah. Which we'll see if I'm gonna be able to tune my carburetor correctly when I get the 2-barrel on there to make this work. Which, who knows? I might attempt to set this up like tomorrow, potentially, maybe, if I'm not going to Calgary. We'll see if I go to Calgary or not. Because if I can get my EGR off where that is mounted, like where the EGR valve is currently mounted to the manifold, that is where I would mount this on the stock manifold, just like that. So yeah, we'll see. You know, and do it that way, because it's really easy to do it that way. I would just need to get custom mounts made, which I can do that fairly easy. But again, I will consult people too before doing any of this, because again, I'm just not as familiar with this stuff. I've never done actually any performance-oriented upgrade to my car. Excluding the okay, I put a big ass rad in the car. That's about it. And also, I put the Optima battery in it. But do those really count? I mean, yes, the car feels like it's faster and it's more precise with the Optima battery in it, and it doesn't really have any overheating issues with the big ass rad that I have in it. But it's one of those deals. Although I need to put a fan shroud on it because it does like to overheat when it's hot and I'm in a drive-through. But that's only in certain circumstances in a drive-through. Because like if I drive down the highway, for example, and then stop immediately at a drive-through, temperature will start to spike. But once you start getting airflow through the ride again, you're fine. It's one of those deals, and again, because it doesn't have a fan shroud, which they didn't have one from the factory. They had just this little thing on top that said "caution fan" on it. It's about that wide, that tall. It didn't really do anything other than say, "Hey, by the way, don't stick your finger in the fan." It would divert air a little bit, but not a ton. So, see me. But yeah, so hopefully I can get the EGR stuff off tomorrow and then figure it out from there. Cause yeah. All right, Brendan. Right now, I mean, I am fully monetized now. All the process has gone through. The only thing I need to do now is, thank you. Is I need to figure out the tax stuff when it comes to them, and I also am waiting for a letter so that I can set up payments. But other than that, it is fully done. For YouTube side, it's done. It's just now I'm dealing with Google. Yeah. Yeah. I probably wasn't gonna run an intercooler with it, but we'll see. Which it kind of looks like. I mean, I'm not sure actually, because looking at this, I'm not used to seeing quite this setup. Which I'm assuming. This is just my assumption on this. That because okay, obviously, that is where it would mount to the manifold, but I'm guessing would a blow-off valve go up here? Or is that the vent that would be like out the hood or something like that? If somebody did a hood stack. That's what I'm thinking. Although it's actually missing something over here too. I don't know what that is. But I'll have to research this turbo and figure stuff out with it too. And even if this is a good turbo, because even though yes it's free, but if it ends up like if I read stuff on it and say this is a crappy turbo, I probably won't BOV. Are you talking about this one here for the blow-off valve? Because yeah, I mean also like there's a little tab there, but I'm not sure what that would be for. Because again, I'm not as familiar with this as I'd like to be. And I'm learning. Like I know a lot of stuff. Yeah. Oh, okay. So the little one here is for the blow-off valve. Okay. Okay. I'll have to get a blow-off valve for it, which I knew I was gonna have to do anyways. But, yeah. And it doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be for the setup. And I'm sure for a small turbo like this. Oh, that's the wastegate. Okay. Like I know these terms, but I've never held a turbo in my hands and really delved into one. But yeah, it'll be cool though. It'll be cool when I'm done. Because yeah, and doing anything that is custom like this and making more power is always fun. And we'll see. Because actually, I want to do, if I can, maybe do a benchmark test. Because who knows? This turbo might not get installed for quite a while. Like, it might be that this turbo doesn't get installed for, like, months. It might do everything else. Oh, here's the thing. All the work that, okay, integrated wastegate. Okay, cool. I've actually done a lot of work to my car. The difference is actual mods hasn't been very many. Um, because yeah, like the bulk of the work that has been done to my car, I have done myself. There are some things that I farmed out. Like I will totally say that rear springs, I farmed that out. The steering rack, I didn't install myself. Also, at the time, I didn't install because we were doing it at the same time, and it was gonna be very simple. So I just farmed it out as well of the power steering pump. Um, but and the rear brakes as well, I didn't do. However, everything under the hood that is all me. So besides, of course, the power steering pump. But and again, and I could have done the power steering pump easily myself. But it's just like, well, we're already doing the steering rack here. It'll take you like 5 minutes. You may as well just do it. That's what was that decision, right? And yeah, and like today, I fixed a little fuel leak that I had, so which is good because now we'll get better fuel economy, which is nice, and it won't completely reek of gasoline. It'll just smell a little bit like gasoline. See now, and the thing is with me, because and we'll see if I go down that route of like, hey, I'm gonna want more and more and more and more and more, because I am also a practical person too. Like I know that I can't completely build that motor to be like, oh my god, an absolute destroyer of everything. And I'm really not aiming high for the motor at all. Like if it makes stock 5-liter numbers, I'd be absolutely ecstatic. Or if it's anywhere near that, that would be freaking awesome. But and yeah, and I'm not. Okay, you can go away. Thank you. And it's actually funny because there was a guy. He was offering me 3 things to trade for the Lumina. He said car stereo stuff, which was just subs and sub boxes. He mentioned some 6-lug Chevy wheels and an international diesel turbo. Came off a 7.3, just like the Rotson on Roadkill. And it's like, dude, your stuff isn't really worth anything. My car is worth in the neighborhood of about $1,200 on selling over there. But the stuff that you offered me is worth like $600. Like, I'm cool with trades, but when they're crappy trades, it's like, no. I've seen the Rotson. I know exactly what the Rotson is. Like I mentioned, I have Roadkill. I love Roadkill. Because initially that they were messing with the 4.3 with that same turbo on it, and then they finally, after blowing up, I think it was 3 or 4 of them, they went to the 5-liter, right? And that thing is such a pile. Cool pile, but a pile. But yeah, and then they took the 5-liter out of the Fox Body Mustang. It was convertible. I remember. Yeah, trust me. I watch Roadkill all the time, and actually now it's kind of cool. They put Roadkill episodes on TV, so I get to watch them on the big screen. With them, no. I've watched other episodes. They didn't really have any when they mounted the turbos and stuff like that. They didn't really talk about anything with it, other than they mentioned that this is the wrong turbo for our setup. It's the right type of turbo for our setup because it was only $200. And that's basically all they said. They never mentioned any of the technical specs of like going through it and stuff like that. Because again, Roadkill typically doesn't do that as much, right? But I know people in the industry that it'll be fine. Like the people that mess with this stuff all the time, I can ask them and it's totally fine. Because yeah, I am pretty decently connected when it comes to people that know their shit. So yeah. But it is very exciting that way. And yeah. Because like the blow through with the carb, the only thing that concerns me is, okay, will I be able to retain the stock fuel pump or not? I'll probably end up having to upgrade it, which would kind of suck, but that's okay. It's electric pump is not expensive. And I would actually, what I'd probably end up doing is mounting the an electric pump in the actual rubber line of the stock fuel pump and just have it run through that because I don't really feel like making a block off plate for the fuel pump. So, yeah. I could just disconnect the lines and do what we're doing with the Civic, but you know, it's one of those deals too. Because we thought about doing that with the Civic too, but we didn't know if the fuel pump was any good, and turns out it's not. So it's better not to have something like fly off the motor, and crap like that too. So, but yeah, because with the Civic actually, because the stock fuel pump is still bolted in place. We haven't even removed it at all. And we've just taken off both the fuel lines to it, and we've just plumbed that to the electric fuel pump that we bought. Now, it's not currently wired in, that electric fuel pump, but it is mounted and fully plumbed. Just need to put the wires together, which isn't really that hard. It's just we're going to put it through a relay, which have a relay, but it's a 5-wire relay that I bought because it was the only one that I could find in town. It was kind of annoying, actually. I prefer a 2-wire relay, but whatever, it's fine. It gives us an opportunity in the future to mount fog lights on the car and have, you know, multiple wires for that. So, should be okay. But, you know, it's all good. Yeah, and like, well, actually, I can show you, although, actually, I think the car's unlocked, so I can show you guys what I'm talking about actually on the Civic. Because let's flip it around. God, it's so nice to have my tripod set up. I love this tripod. Because if we go over here, because I'm pretty sure, I think my Civic's unlocked. Yep, it is. Just so I can reach that stupid underneath. Because we haven't done a ton of work on the Civic yet. And it's just like, got a bunch of parts for it, but just haven't done it yet. Because you can see right now, because okay, there's the, that's the new fuel pump, right? And it's fully plumbed and ready to go. I ran it around the motor. Like that. You know, there's the inlet. That's the outlet. And like I said, just have 2 wires. One's the ground, the other one's power wire. And then we do have a relay which is going to mount up here. Right, because there's already a couple holes here. So just mount it there. All good. And yeah, and then we're going to put one of the wires to the positive side of the coil, which is right here, and be good. You know, just need to get an eyelet and stuff like that, and should run off its own fuel system after that. But yeah, other than that, you know, haven't really done a lot. Like, that's the battery out of, actually my old battery out of Stitch. It doesn't actually fit in the battery box, but it's fine. You know, this is a nice little car. I love this thing, and I can't wait to drive it when it is actually drivable. But yeah, the weather is absolutely gorgeous here. Like, out in the sun right now, it's nice and warm. I could nearly suntan out here. But like, this car will be so much fun when it's actually on the road. It's not going to be a fast car by any stretch of the imagination, but it will be just like a fun car to take around turns and stuff like that. And like, well, with Stitch actually, because she's still unlocked. If I go around to under the hood, so actually I'll show you what I did today, but it's not much. But which this thing might be cool enough to finally spray those bolts, because you can see down. I don't know if you can see the yeah, okay, you can see that new gasket that I put in there. So now she does not leak one bit, which is nice. And I think that was the cause of the oil leak as well through there. So quite convenient. Okay, can I unzoom this, please? There we go. That's better. And like the thing is, and right now that I'm having an issue with, because I want to remove this stupid ER, right? The entire setup here. I don't know. Again, you might not be able to see it. Nah, you can't really see it. But basically, the bolts for the EGR... Okay, let me unzoom this. There we go. The bolts for the EGR that are connected to the manifold are like so rusted that I can't really touch them. Actually, let's just see. Oh yeah, it's cool enough to where I can do that. So actually, I'm gonna do that right now, because why not? I'm just gonna spray them with my new spray that I have, and why not? We're gonna do this live on camera, because why not? Not gonna try and get them unstuck though, because I'm gonna let it sit overnight. That's why actually the car's in the driveway and not in my spot. Because yeah, normally where my car is right now, that's where my dad's car sits. So I'm just going to really quick grab the spray from the passenger seat. Because I've been told by... Because I was using liquid wrench and it did not do the job that I wanted it to. So now I am going to try, which was recommended to me, cat's ass, right? So we shall see if this stuff actually works or not, and I'll find out tomorrow. If it works as well as I was told. Because I did like a torture test with this stuff too, and it worked better than everything else, so. Come on. Shit. There we go. That should be good. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully. Hopefully this stuff works. It smells just like a regular lubricant that way for, you know, this sort of thing. So we shall see. But yeah, hopefully that works. Because I would really like to remove this damn EGR. Because I'm not a fan of it. I mean, hell, it's so rigidly mounted that it moves the entire car when you shake it. But what might just happen is, for now, if I can't get, like, if I can't get the EGR mount off down there, then what I might end up doing is chopping the pipe off and welding it shut, and then figuring out how to get that off later. So yeah, that might be a thing. Now I'm going to unextend this and go back to my chair. Because yeah, I love the weather here, to be honest. Like here in Sundre, it is such... We have more mild weather than everywhere else. Like, we're down in, for example, somebody mentioned they're from Medicine Hat in Lethbridge, where it gets like plus 40 some days down there. Here, if it eclipses plus 30, it's kind of rare. So it is kind of nice that way. But yeah, so you know, I do love the weather here, and it doesn't get like super cold either compared to everywhere else. Oh, my hair's a mess. I'm a mess too, but whatever. I was working on the car today. I don't care. Cause yeah, I would never came onto YouTube and be like, yeah, by the way, I'm a supermodel, so you know. So like up here, it's kind of nice because the average weather in summer is like 25. Yes. We're talking about Celsius, yes. Because, like, in some places here in Alberta, for example, you can take Calgary, Medicine Hat, and Lethbridge as your biggest examples of this, to where in the summertime it can get to over plus 40, but in the wintertime it can also get to minus 40 as well. Which, for reference, minus 40 is minus 40 Celsius is minus 40 Fahrenheit as well, for anybody wondering. So it is, we have some of the most extreme temperature variations of anywhere on the planet. Yeah, so that's why, like, you know, and people, like with my car, yes, Rust Valley is in Tappan, BC, or at least that's where, like, Rust Valley Restorers on History, for example, they're based in Tappan. Oh, hey, Wasted Talent, I appreciate you coming out to the live stream. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. But yeah, they're out in BC. Like in the because I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, okay, they're in Tappan, BC. Which I've been wanting to visit them. It's like a 8-hour-ish drive to go there, but it'd be definitely worth it. It's just with COVID, it's been good. It's been bad. This is true. Lethbridge got a ton of them too. We rarely get Chinooks here, but typically we don't need them, so it's not so bad. Like, it's a little breezy right now, which in the shade makes it a little chillier. Like, not cold, but, you know. Oh, for sure. Like, here in Sundre, we do get some Chinooks. Not as many, even though the mountains are right there. Like, the thing is, if you look at Sundre on a map, because, okay, if you know where Olds is, Sundre is 40 kilometers west of Olds. Oh yeah, this is true. And actually, the best condition ones you're gonna find is here in Alberta. At least when it comes to excluding California cars and stuff like that, but like in Canada, you're gonna find Alberta ones typically are the least rusted out compared to the rest of the country, because everybody else salts their roads, we sand our roads, which makes a big difference. But at the same token, though, is you'll also get here in Alberta as well, you'll get a ton of higher mileage vehicles compared to everywhere else. So yeah. But you know, because I grew up in Lethbridge, so we always craved a Chinook happening in the wintertime. And you know, and I remember actually back in the day that it never really got to, you know, like minus 40 or plus 40 when I was growing up. But, you know, oh, cool. Very cool. Gotta love a 68. And I was going to say, is your 68 a fastback or a coupe? Like, let's see. I can't remember right now. Because I follow so many people's stuff, it's hard to remember what everybody owns. And, yeah, and I always get cars mixed up. Okay, it's a coupe. Okay. Hey, that's still cool. So wait, 68 and from California. Is it just a regular 68 coupe, or is that a California special? Oh, absolutely. Because I'm curious, actually, because I mean, I love a California special. They're cool. C code. Okay, so it's just standard coupe then, I think. Okay, that's cool. Very cool. Actually, something that I got C. Now that was a or V code, so it was not the special K code. At a car show last weekend, out in Cremona. Okay. Out in Cremona, I actually saw, and one of the only ones I'm ever gonna see. It is a 64 and a half 289 car. 289 automatic. It was orange. And it was just like, oh my god, this is 64 and a half. You know, and it's interesting. I didn't realize in 64 that you couldn't actually get disc brakes up front. It was 65 when they introduced that. So it's like, huh, interesting. So all 64s have drum brakes in front. And the car was pretty bare bones, but it's like, wow, 64 and a half. Like, that is so cool to see. Just when I saw the car, it's like, holy crap. And there's a couple things that differentiate a 64 and a half from a 65. Not too many, but there are some subtle differences between the two. And, like sharper corners and stuff like that. But... Oof. Yeah, I can imagine. They'd probably bring a lot more money over there than they do here, because, like, put it this way. I know. You're talking to somebody that has a ton of knowledge when it comes to cars, right? You do know why they're called 64 and a halves. Like, the thing is, a comparable car here, like, okay, 150 grand. Now that's New Zealand dollars, which I think are actually a little more expensive than Canadian too. I think the dollar amount is higher. But anyways, a 68 Mustang for 130 grand here. That's a Shelby. 20 grand over there. Holy crap. That's surprising. I mean, I don't know what the New Zealand dollar is compared to the Canadian dollar, but still, because I think the exchange rate's actually in your favor. But wow, that blows my mind. Okay. Yeah, that is. I'm surprised. I mean, mind you, I understand they're a lot rarer there, so it is understandable. But yeah, just wow, that seriously blows my mind. Even if it's New Zealand dollars, it's still. I'm pretty sure they're either on par or it's slightly better than the Canadian dollar right now. I haven't looked at the New Zealand dollar and see what it is in a long time. Well, that's fair. Because like here, a 68 coupe that needs a full restoration here, and a 68 coupe is not going to be worth that much money. Like, it's probably going to be worth maybe about 40 grand here when it's fully done, ish, somewhere in that range. Although yours is an AC car, which is a little rarer here. Because of all of the 289, like all the V8 cars and stuff like that, only it was about 10 or 15% got air conditioning, so that is quite a rare option on yours. Yeah, well, maybe next time advertise it in New Zealand. Problem is, any of the vehicles I sell are not caliber to actually send over to New Zealand or anything like that, or send overseas. 2 grand. Oh, okay. Yeah, because like, I don't know. I mean, a car like that here, 68 coupe that needs a bunch of work, maybe about 5. But hey, dudes with wrenches, how's it hanging? Appreciate you coming out to the live stream. I won't be doing this for terribly much longer, but I'll probably end it around the 2-hour mark. We're at an hour 44 now, so yeah. But how you doing? Because yeah, somewhere in that range, being an AC car, even if it needs a full restoration, it's only because of the air conditioning option on that. Everything else, like, I mean, also the power brakes too does help with that, because again, everything on those were an option, right? Everything on those were an option. But yeah, there wasn't very many things that were standard on a Mustang. Because like even the V8, again, that was an option. Automatic was technically an option too, because the 4-speed manual top loader would have been the Tran you would have got from the factory. Now it's not like a big block top loader. They just called all their manual transmissions at the time top loaders. But yeah, because I've come across top loaders before, but. Oof. Hey, it's no worries. I understand that. Well, hey, I can, and sorry to hear about your slip disc, and it's okay. Like, not too worried about it. When you can get out there, it's cool. But, yeah. Yeah, Mongrels does have a 68 coupe as well. But, okay. So for those of you that are wondering, because I did mention it before, and I did mention it earlier on in the stream, but there was almost nobody here. Now that there's 5 people, I can explain it again. How I grew my channel to as big as it is in such a short amount of time. Because 1 year ago, I had 100 subscribers. Now I'm at I think 1110 now. So as of this live stream, because I think I got 1 or 2 during this. But anyways, I appreciate it. Thank you. But basically, I was putting out regular content all the time. You know, I wasn't really taking much for breaks, excluding when I had my surgery. I think I didn't have a video out for about a month. But that's because I could hardly walk. So it was a little hard to actually do any videos on the car. But as well, I am part of over 150 groups on Facebook to promote my content. People will say, oh, you know, we hate spammers, whatever else like that. I was like, well, here's the thing. You make sure that per group, you're only posting 1 video per day per group. But even then, I wasn't really doing daily uploads. So I was usually spacing them out 2 to 3 days. It wasn't until I was really close to monetization that I just needed to watch it time hours that I was doing daily uploads for a bit. Now I'd space them out. But, basically, post your videos in like Facebook groups and stuff like that. You don't have to pay for advertising for YouTube, because that seems like a waste. Yeah, I post a lot. Like, put it this way, actually, it's funny. On Facebook, because Facebook does detect when you are posting a bunch. And my brain's not functioning. Sorry. Because I do actually get spam blockers on Facebook. When I post a lot in a short amount of time, I'll get unable to comment or post in any groups for an hour, basically, right? And then I continue on again afterwards. So, you know, I post all that, and yeah, and then just do like regular uploads and stuff like that, and keep everybody informed. As well, like other stuff you can do. Okay, so the YouTube shorts that I put out, honestly, it is a great way at times, depending on what you're posting. Like, some things do not get a ton of views, but the thing is, YouTube shorts get you subscribers. That's what they do, because you post, and you have to do it in a not a landscape, but in portrait mode, right? For whatever you're shooting, do it in portrait, and it has to be less than 60 seconds long. You post that to YouTube, and yeah. Yes. That's what I did, is post my YouTube links everywhere. But make sure, though, that you're not just sharing the links in these groups. Make sure you put a little bit of a synopsis of what's going on in the video. It doesn't have to be that long. It could be like a couple of sentences long. But yeah. And, you know, and shorts are fantastic. Like, they don't always get you views or anything like that. Not all the time, but they'll get you a lot of subscribers. Hey, old school, how's it going? Appreciate you coming out. Yeah, so basically, just woke up from a nap towards the end of the live stream. So, you know, hey, you got here just in the nick of time. Fashionably late, as they call that. But yeah, no, it's just one of those things that's how I pretty much grew. Now, obviously, I did have a bunch of fans, and I am a woman on YouTube too, so that helps a little bit. But still, anybody can grow their channel if they really try hard enough, right? Because, and as well, like, something to do as well that you guys should be interested in doing is, if you want to grow your channel, go to other people's live streams, for example, and comment in them and stuff like that. Because when you do, other people will start following your content and stuff like that as well. So it definitely helps to network. Oh, I never said it was easy. I worked my ass off to get where I am now. But it's like, and the thing is, and as you, I'm sure, because all of you watch my videos, that that's fair. Well, I appreciate you jumping back in here. All right, well, that's cool. I mean, I was gonna say, yeah, you were one of the earlier ones in my channel. I do remember that because you started commenting like right away, and it was pretty cool. And that you've stuck around for the long haul is fantastic, especially since my channel has kind of evolved a little bit now. I still do, you know, the stuff with the car, whatever else, and give updates and whatever else. But I've been doing a lot more car show stuff, as I'm sure you guys have seen lately too. And just diversifying my content a little bit, and as well, like, there's a video coming out in the next couple of days. It's currently uploaded. It's just waiting to go public. Make it public probably a couple of days. Excuse me. Is a 1989 Nissan Sentra walk around video. Now, and this thing is like a time capsule. It is absolutely damn near mint. Like, no joke, somebody can make this thing to absolutely factory spec, and with about $1,000. That's all it would pretty much take, I think. And this car only has 59,000 kilometers on it. Oh, no worries, dudes with wrenches. I appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much for coming on to the live stream, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day. But yeah, so, you know, and that car, like, meeting the girl, she was selling it, but then now she's not, and it's totally cool. Like, I don't know if that was my influence did that, but if it was, that's kind of cool. Because this girl, her name was Haley, she's 18, and this was her first car. She's the second owner of this car, and she's been detailing it for a couple of years now. Interesting concept for a channel, actually. That's kind of cool. You know, I mean, I could do something like that, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I might do some stuff like in the future where I'll do a live stream and I'll work on the car a little bit and chat with you guys, and, you know, do something like that, because that'd be kind of a cool sort of thing to show you guys. Like, I was tempted to do that earlier when I was doing the fuel pump, but when I was doing the fuel pump stuff that I showed you guys earlier, is I was uploading a video to YouTube at the time, so my internet was bricked. I couldn't do anything until that video was done, so, you know, that's why I did that. Kind of distract myself without having internet. But yeah, so, no, it is quite a fun time, that's for sure. And YouTube, it takes a lot of work, but, you know, if you're dedicated enough and you try hard enough, you will get out there more. And like I said, you know, you just, and also you'll notice too, never be divulged, like, never worry so much about the success of what a video will do. Is, okay, I understand now a lot of people spend a lot more time making their videos than I do, because you guys know, well, what you see is what you get. My videos that, for example, the car meet videos where I do the pictures, they typically take me only about 15 minutes, but yeah. Oh, nice. That's cool, because, yeah, it's currently at 1,000 now. So, and as you saw, I've been doing community posts as well. So any of you that do have, if they're doing that, that is so cool. And I think you should be able to do community posts with like 100 subscribers. I think because you do have a following at that point, and you can post stuff and stuff like that. It's all good. Because yeah. Oh, for sure. And the stuff that you guys have over there is so cool. Like my Mustang, the thing is, if I wanted to get all the proper performance parts and stuff like that, you get them from Australia, New Zealand, right? Because you guys love those inline sixes, and I know you do because, well, a friend of mine that actually owns Racer Mechanical here in town. His name is Brian. He is from New Zealand, and he actually used to race those 200 inline sixes. Now, because there was a race series that they were capped at 240 cubic inches, so they just bore out those a little bit and stroke them out to 240, and then they make an absolute screamer out of those motors. And you can, like, you can make those motors make quite insane power if you really wanted to, but it takes quite a bit of money too. Because I know, like, there's this guy. He's a friend of mine on Facebook. He made one of the fastest NA inline six Mustangs ever. His car, because he built this quite a long time ago. Yeah, you do have the Barra, and I'd love to play with the Barra. But I can't afford one. So, you can't find them over here. You have to import them, and it costs you a lot of money to do that. But, it's Ford's... It's like Ford's version of a 2JZ. Right? They make just an obscene amount of power if you just boost them to hell, and it's great. What do I do when the weather is cold? My uploads just slow down. I try and wait for a slightly warmer day in the wintertime. And, and I'll do uploads. Like, for example, I'll do stuff where, like, hey, is my car going to start in minus 40 degree weather or something like that, right? Okay, what was that? Actually, I didn't catch that. $200 motors there? Yeah, that same motor here is like $2,000. So, minimum. What here is it? No surprising. Well, you can build a Slant 6 to be an absolute monster. Like, the Slant 6s have way more potential than my 200 does. They really do. Because it is an absolute powerhouse of a motor when you build it. And there's much more aftermarket, too, for a Slant 6 compared to my car. Most of the stuff for my car, you have to custom fab yourself, where a Slant 6 car, you can find that. Like, even on Jags and stuff like that, and on Summit Racing, you'll find stuff for Slant 6 modifications. And, like, for this turbo, for example, that's going to be a custom fab, which I'm not going to be the one fabbing up the mount for it. I'll probably end up just farming it out to the machine shop here in town, and that's who will do this. And, yeah. So, with this turbo, it'll be fun on the car. Yeah, very much fun. Turb skis. Tiny little turbo. But it'll work. Hopefully. I think it should be an okay diameter for it to work. But, yeah. Because, like, something I thought of, too, and, like, in it, I think this is actually a little bigger than my EGR hose. Because I was tempted, actually, to, get this mounted, chop off the, EGR, like I mentioned earlier, and use that pipe, actually, that's already routed into it. Remove the actual EGR valve itself, but use the pipe, and get it into the stock air box in that way. But that's probably not going to happen. Because I'm pretty sure the diameters are different. I think this is a little wider than the EGR. Which is sad, because if it was the same size, I would absolutely do that. I would utilize that. Because that tubing is already perfectly plumbed and ready to go. Why not utilize it, right? But, oh well. Not in the world. I'll figure out something to do with this. And put it on the car, and, It's give me a learning experience, that's for sure. And I mean, I am gonna consult people that know a little more about turbos than I do, and get this thing going. Yeah, see, and stuff like that too will absolutely explode. Revival videos, they skyrocket. Like my actually I think it's the most popular video on my channel now. The first start of the Civic has like over 7,000 views if I remember correctly. And it's like, holy crap. Like I know revival videos do well, but damn. Yeah, see, and bigger channels like that too, they'll get a ton more views than what I will, for example. But still, you know. And I love a good revival video myself. Like I love watching them. But as well, I like making them too. Cause yeah, like I don't know. Tomorrow, if I don't go to Calgary, I'll end up and actually come to think about it, I probably won't go to Calgary tomorrow because I need to unless it's later on in the day, then I might. But out at Greg's, there is the Grand Marquis, which has been sitting for a good part of 10 or 15 years, right? Shouldn't be very hard to get running, but you never know. I might make that into a revival video of reviving that, for example. And it's such a cool car. It's a 1977 Grand Marquis Coupe. We found the fender skirts today for it, so that just about doubles the price of this car. And yeah, it's cool. And like, I want to as well, like, go to a junkyard and just get a car running and see if it'll drive home. I've always wanted to do that, but I just don't have the money to do it. And that's the problem. You know, if my channel was a lot more successful and I was making a livable income off of YouTube, why not? I would do that in a heartbeat, but I don't. I've only made 20 bucks off of YouTube. So it's not exactly a lot. But, you know, hopefully when I can afford it a little more, I will. But, you know what, like the stuff out of Greg's I can do a lot easier because, again, these vehicles I'm not buying, I have no money into them, and I can just throw a couple bucks into them and get them run, which I'll probably end up doing. You know, because that's also as well how I earn my paycheck out there too. Because, yeah, I get 25% of anything I sell, so, you know, and I get free storage of stuff. Like, the Lumina is currently out there. It's not sold yet. Which, you know, if my car ends up blowing up, I'll probably just drive aluminum. But I'll have to check that out, actually, because the thing is, we do have some cool junkyards, and I've been curious. Like, I've thought about going out to Bucks in Calgary and doing a junkyard tour there, for the channel, but I just haven't done it yet. Because, again, if I go to Calgary, who knows? I might just stop in a Bucks. See, that's cool. You do get some newer stuff in Bucks, but you get a ton of classics. And what's cool about Bucks setup is, instead of, you know, the traditional, hey, the car is balanced on rims and it's a little sketchy, they're actually on racks. So it's so much easier to, you know, get under them and not to worry about them, you know, collapsing on you or anything like that. Not that they ever do collapse, but, you know, there is that worry, right? And it'll always look sketchy when they balance them on the rims like that. But, you know, it's fine. Because it's not like I haven't climbed under a car out at Pick and Pull that's balanced on wheels. Because I actually have, not that I need a parts car, but don't tempt me. That's sad. That is sad. Because, like, you know, there are, and for example, like, there's yards like Flatla, which is in Medicine Hat, I think. Or is that up north? I'd have to look, actually, for sure. But it's in Alberta, anyways. And, oh, hey, Robert's Garage. Appreciate you coming out. Flatla is a yard that, if I remember correctly, does not crush anything. They part everything out, and until it's like a bare bones, nothing left of the car, then they crush it. So it is kind of cool that way, you know, to find junkyards that'll do that. But yeah. Oh, oh, jeez. I have a. Yeah, I was just looking at my notifications here, and it's a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, like the thing is, I have gotten help from people with parts and stuff like that in the past, but it's not like, hey, I don't rely on somebody buying me free parts or giving me stuff or anything like that. I don't rely on that. You know, like I always rely on, hey, if I need help, can I get it? There is that. Like for example, freaking Roy Marco's Garage here on YouTube. He is one of the best people for going to help you out if you need it. Like, he came down here to me, and actually helped me install these sequential taillights in my car, which need to be fixed. Not our fault. It was just the speed. I didn't realize you can adjust the speed on it. But other than that, it's they're pretty much perfect. Although we did do a kind of a redneck install on those, but that'll be on my channel soon because I should take those apart and fix them. It's not hard to take them apart or anything like that, and I can show you guys actually how you're supposed to install these. But yeah, because I'm supposed to actually have already posted one of those, but Curiosity Inc. That name sounds familiar, actually. The name does sound familiar. Which, I mean, I'm in Edmonton. I wouldn't even say semi-frequently, but he does YouTube videos. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm always, and that's the one thing I do because I network all the time. I'm always finding people to be like, hey, can I do videos on your car, or can I Hey, that is awesome. Yeah, because he is. Both of those guys are fantastic. He's always in the news as well. Okay. Yeah, well, I'll have to go check him out when. Hopefully, when I'm up there, I have time to go check it out. Because there's stuff in Edmonton that I need to do. Like there is the Supra review, which I need to get up there soon before it starts snowing. Which that'll happen any week now. It's just a matter of time. So before I'm not out here in a nice dress. Granted, I'm in jeans too, but in a dress and wonderful. But yeah, and it's gonna suck when one tour comes around, but it's okay. It's welcome to life out here. And what might happen actually is I might get the drive. Like I'm gonna ask my dad, just like, hey, in the wintertime, can I get the driveway? Just because his car's all-wheel drive, mine's not. He won't get stuck where I have to park compared to I get stuck where I have to park my car usually. Because yeah, my car's in the driveway right now, but it's not. That's just for tonight. Because again, I sprayed this stuff, and I don't want it to burn off like the liquid wrench did. So I'm not running the car until tomorrow. Watch more YouTube videos. Well, I mean, in the wintertime, stuff slows down too, right? Like, it really does. And there are times when I can't even leave the house because my car gets stuck in front of my house. Now, I have discovered these things. They're actually for off-roaders, but they work for, like, ice and stuff like that too. They're like these plastic cleats almost for your car, and you put it in front of the wheel, and it's like that old trick of putting a 2x4 in front of your wheel and it going over that. Except for this is a little more high tech than that because it digs into the ground for you, and you just peel it up and throw it in your car, and away you go, right? So I'm gonna pick some of those up. Yeah, Mr. Plow is expensive. Just saying. Out here, you want to get pulled out of that? Somebody's gonna charge me probably about $200 to do that. I just like, no, I'm not doing that. Um, but you know, it's all good. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I've got actually decent winter tires in the shed, and what I might do, I mean, they're not gonna be studdable anymore, but I might get some studded winter tires too. Well, yeah, they are. Especially hatchbacks are better because they have that extra weight on the back end, but a notchback has no weight on the ass. So yeah. Um, I put in the wintertime, I put about 300 pounds in the trunk. Yeah, I ain't moving to Medicine Hat. I like it here in Sundry. It's all good. Um, it's just really my little spot out here in the alley that's, you know, that I get stuck in because I don't get stuck anywhere else. It's just right there. But to be fair, where I park under the eavesdrop, well, it's like right there, and it's actually it needs to be cleaned out. So when, for example, snow or rain comes, it just pours down. So it's not exactly ideal. But no, there's really not. Like here, even though yes, I live in a trailer park, it's actually quite respectable here. Um, you know, like I can leave stuff around and it doesn't get stolen, for example, and whatever else. It is kind of nice that way. Um, you know, and Sundry's a small town too. And plus, here's the thing: my car, especially now, everybody knows the car around town. Like hardly anybody has not seen it, and even my car, for example, it gets recognized everywhere it goes. Um, if that car ever gets stolen, they're gonna have a hard time trying to hide it. So, you always complain about Toronto. It's kind of funny. But big city, you know, because what you have like 2 or 3 million people there or something like that. So it is gonna be worse. The higher population, the worse it is. It's just how it works typically. Um, because even people say, "Oh yeah, Calgary's fantastic." It's like it depends where you are in Calgary too. Just like Vancouver. Vancouver's fantastic unless you're on the bad end of town. It gets really sketchy down there. Not everybody's crazy in Toronto. Come on now. After all, I flew over top of Toronto. I was fine. I think the pilot actually said he was from Toronto. He seemed fine when I was out there last summer. Because I was not in Toronto. I was actually in Medicine Hat. Or not Medicine Hat. Freaking Montreal. But still. Oh yeah, it's extremely expensive to live in Vancouver. It's actually the most expensive place to live actually in the country. Um, it's bad. Not that it's cheap in Toronto either, but Vancouver is much more expensive. Well, good luck, Mongrel. Look forward to seeing your progress on the Mustang. I haven't watched your full video yet on the C10, but I will tomorrow. So, or tomorrow. Probably will after the live stream, actually. Watch the rest of your video there. Because I only got, I think, like 3 minutes in, but then I got a phone call and I had to go do that. But, yeah. Yeah, good luck with everything, and, yeah, let me know how it goes. How do you see it? And as well, because actually, Mongrel's Garage, if you guys want to check him out, he's got, his channel's only about, like, 50 subscribers right now. I think I got him, like, 4 today. But, so far. And the thing is, with him, he is actually down in the Vulcan County here in Alberta. So there will be a time when I will visit him and we'll go tour his collection of cars and everything, and it'll be really cool. Because Vulcan from here is about 2.5 hours, give or take. So it is a little bit of a trek. But it's all good. Definitely worth it. And I've taken that trip a few times, actually. It's not a bad drive. Although turning onto going through Calgary is kind of a pain, but that's fine. That's fine. Because I don't like that little highway there. But other than that, it's fine. Yeah. Because I was down there consecutively like every 2 weeks for 3 or 4. time. So yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like the thing is, and I like to tour other people's car collections, and I might do it a little differently than I did it at Roy Marcos. Well, yeah, you I know that's where I take Stony around, but I don't go the way that everybody else goes. I go the other way, um, because everybody will go down. Oh, what the heck is that highway? I can't remember. But anyways, um, yeah, like going down to Lethbridge, for example, I go through Vulcan. I don't go the other way through like Fort McLeod. So yeah, um, because everybody goes through Fort McLeod and then goes north, compared to just going north. It makes no sense. Like Google says it's faster, but it's not. It's really not. It's so much faster to go through Vulcan every time. To go to Calgary from Lethbridge, for example. So yeah, yeah, it should be fun that way. But you know, and like with his, because with Roy Marco's collection, I did it all in one video. Oh, that's cool. That is cool, actually. That is very neat. You don't get too many of that anymore. Oh, exactly. But I might end up with Mongrel's Garage, for example. Instead of doing one collection video, I'll do each individual car as a video itself, right? That way it gets you more content out. And as well, if somebody doesn't like the thumbnail that you have for the one car, well, okay, then it's not so bad. You can move on to another one, right? And on and on. And there's a lot of people that don't want to see a collection video; they just want to see individual cars. And you know, people get burned out on a video that's longer than 15 minutes a lot of the time. So yeah, like a lot of my earlier content was actually really long. It was like 25 minutes plus. But I've since gotten that way down. Like on my walk around videos now with cars, I'm around I think like 7 minutes average compared to before where it was 20 minutes average. So it's not bad. Yeah, oh for sure. And you know, like and I've got a bunch of stuff planned for videos. And like Mongrel, he's yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of people, and like we live in such a now society where people don't want to watch a longer video anymore, and it is kind of sad that way. Like I love making long videos. I do. The short videos do kind of bother me at times. Like not like to the point of hey, I'm not gonna put it out or anything like that, but you know, it's just I know that the longer the video is, typically the less views you're gonna get. Um, like yeah, and I mean lately most of my videos, excluding like car show videos and stuff like that, because like the first of the car show videos from Corona is out now, and I think that one is 16-ish minutes long. It doesn't have a ton of views yet, and I don't expect it to get a lot of views. But then part two of the four, I think part two is the longest at like 38 minutes, and then it drops down to I think it's 26 minutes, and then the last part is 18 minutes, I think. So it combines to over 2 hours, but well, welcome to Alberta. Especially where you are, because here it doesn't get that windy typically. It's kind of nice for that. You know, I don't have to worry about it. Although, I mean, clouds are starting to roll in, so and it did rain kind of earlier on me. But yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future with my channel and stuff like that. And who knows? Maybe I might have some content that just absolutely explodes with popularity. That'd be fantastic. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not the end of the world. It'd just be nice, you know, if I got something to go viral like that. But I'm not counting on something going viral. That's for sure. I don't think I've heard of Mr. Good Flyers. I not really. Like we don't get a ton of hail here. That's more Calgary. I just saw part of your message there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, hey, I'd be curious to see what's all out there because like the stuff that you guys have over there compared to here, it's so much different. Like here, we see a bunch of American cars, and just about every show, it's dominated by American cars. It's not very often, unless if it's like an import-oriented show where you see that. But then as well, you guys have the Australian variant American cars too, which are so cool. Like only on Australia could you get a 225 slant six with a Hemi head on it. It's like, it's so cool. And actually, something you can get for those as well, aftermarket, for those heads, if I remember correctly, is you can get a 6-pack setup for a Hemi head, which is just like, so have a Hemi slant 6-pack car. Huh. And actually, and something mentioned about wintertime as well, and I'll likely do a lot more live streams in the wintertime, because, there's that. Yeah, oh, the Ford Falcon over there is, almost any generation is really cool. Like, I would love an Aussie Falcon. Especially a 70s one, or even a late 90s XR8. I think they were called, and they are just such a cool car. And I fell in love with the not really. The Falcon there was smaller than you think they were. They were a mid-sized car more. Oh my god. I know those are stupid expensive now too. Like, I look at prices of cars around the world at times, and you'll see them over there, and just like, oh my god. Nice. That's cool. And Gran Torino's a fantastic movie. A lot of people will hate on Clint Eastwood movies, but that one's damn near perfect. And that Torino is one of my dream cars. Although personally, for me, I want a little earlier one. But than that, even though that's one of my favorite front ends and body styles of the Torino, the one that's close to my heart, I want a 68 fastback. Is the one I really want. So, and it's just one of those deals. Nice. That's cool. I'd love to have one. Actually, my first car was almost, because I almost won it actually. Was a 1968 Fairlane Torino 302 car fastback, and it was blue. Actually, no, that one was red. Sorry, it was the Galaxy that was blue. Yeah, it was red. It was a radio station giving it away. I didn't have my license at the time. I was only 15, and yeah, it was cool. Just the radio station every year. 69, I believe, was the Talladega. I think it was 69 for the Talladega. Not 68. I think. I've seen a Talladega in person though. It's so cool. There's one that's actually prowls around Olds all the time, and it's just like, holy crap. It's just amazing to see a Talladega in person because they are such a unicorn. You will see more Hemi Daytonas and Hemi Superbirds over a Talladega. You will. Talladegas never show up to auctions or anything like that. They're never at car shows. And yeah, like, I've physically seen, because the two rarest cars I've ever seen is a 69 Dodge Daytona and a 69 Ford Talladega. But those are the absolutely rarest cars I've ever seen in my life. Because they only made 500 Daytonas, and I think they only made 500 Talladegas as well. So, not a lot of them, right, are out. Compared to Superbirds, where they made 1,500 Superbirds. You see a lot more, and I've personally seen, I think, 10 different Saberbirds. Still cool. I would love to experience one. See me. But yeah, and who knows? I might be in the cards in the future to drive one, because it'd be so cool to drive one. And yeah. And actually, I think I saw like TZR was in here earlier, and he's a cool guy. And actually, I met his wife at the Cremona show. Yeah, it was kind of cool meeting. She obviously enjoyed seeing me, and yeah, she was taking pictures and stuff like that, and she was like regrettably saying that unfortunately I ran out of battery on my camera before I got a picture of Katarina in her car. And it's like entrance though, but it's all good. I'm not upset about it by imagination. I'm never upset when people don't find my stuff. But yeah. Yeah, and I don't know anything about it. Like, I've seen the previews, but the previews for that movie tell almost nothing about the movie. So, it's fine. Ugh. Yeah. My hair is a mess. It's all dirty. My hands are all dirty because I was working on the car earlier today. And yeah, because you wouldn't think you'd get that dirty. Taking a fuel pump off, putting a new gasket on, putting it back on, but you get very dirty doing that. Because my jeans are all dirty too from that. Oh well. I will have to clean up tonight probably. But it's fine. I don't mind. Gives me a chance to just relax in the tub. And because I love to have a bath, so there you go. Yeah, I can't wait to see if I can figure out this turbo and how I can install this thing. Because, you don't, I don't get to play with turbos ever, right? It'll just be so much fun. Turboing my little N96. And this might be exactly what I was looking for. Like, it almost seems too small, but I could be wrong. Yeah, that's fair. I was gonna say, like, my car, I mean, I get dirty every time I get in my car because my car's not clean. It's never clean. But that is okay. Because, yeah, like, my car inside is not exactly clean. It's nowhere near clean. Even though I show it dirty all the time. Like, I'll wash the outside, but don't really clean out the inside that much. But to be fair, there's a lot of stuff on the inside where it's not going to get clean. No matter how hard you try, it won't get clean. Plus, it doesn't really matter. Because, like, dash pad, for example, that's cracked. So, and it's, like, sun faded very hard. So, I don't think you're going to get that back. Okay, what's with you and Wet Dog? I understand that's your YouTube name, but what is with that? Because it's such a weird thing to say all the time. Yeah, I'm still live. Yep, I've been going for almost 2.5 hours now. I thought I was going to stop half hour ago, but I'm keeping on going. Hey, I put a post out on Instagram that I was going live in like 5 minutes. I am so terrible at notifying people when I'm going live. Just it's really really bad for that. But actually, if you guys missed it, Teen Mechanic actually had his first live stream yesterday. And it was a pretty good live stream actually. I was only there for about an hour, and he went for almost an hour after that. But it was a fun time, and he did very well with it. So yeah, if you want to see in more live streams in the future, he'll probably end up doing more, and who knows, he might be a guest on here for a live stream too, because I'm, me and him, we chat a lot, to be honest. I've been to his house twice now. And yeah, he's a cool kid. Being a 15-year-old kid, you think, oh, you're gonna be an annoying little crap, but no, he's actually really good. That's fair, wet dog. It's funny. Usually people just take their name and go garage after it. Or like Teen Mechanic, he just happened to find that name, which actually it's a fantastic name to be honest for him. But yeah. Ah, health and asthma, gotta love it. But yeah. Oh god. But no, and I mean, I was talking about earlier, like how I grew my channel to as big as it is, and also, because you heard that I'm keeping the inline six in my car, right? Joseph. And yeah, Team Mechanic, his name is Joseph. Just FYI. Well, because something you may have seen a thumbnail for the video. I'm not sure if you did, but if you didn't, look what I got. It's an itty bitty little turbo. So tiny. Right? And this will hopefully actually, because I thought it was going to be too small, but looking at it, this might actually be the perfect size turbo for my car. So, we'll see. Hopefully I can make this work. It won't be installed right away, like as much as I want it to be. It's going to take a bit of R&D to figure out, hey, how to get this installed and how to make my carburetor a blow-through carb. So it'll require a lot of tuning on the carb. And yeah. So I can't wait for that. Because that is a IHI, turbo. And it came off a 3-liter diesel. So it might actually be the perfect size. We shall see. And, I can probably adapt it to work. It's all going to be custom parts anyways, that, for any of this. Any of my cars, it's 100% custom. They don't really make any aftermarket parts concerning the motor. So there's no such thing as a turbo kit for a Fox Body 200 inline six. You do have for other inline sixes from Ford, but not the 200 inline six in the Fox Body. Well, here's the thing. A supercharger would be fantastic, but I can't afford a supercharger. Like, superchargers, I love how they feel and the instant power that they have. But I don't know exactly how I'd mount a supercharger on my car. Plus, I mean, a turbo gives you better fuel economy versus a supercharger, too. So there is that. Like, I much prefer a supercharger, though. But, it should be fun, though, with this little turbo on the car. Because, yeah, and also, any free turbo is a good turbo. Because I didn't pay anything for this. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, and I'll definitely utilize it in my car if I can. So, and I need to look up the specs of it and see, okay, what are these things even capable of and stuff like that? Because I'm not going to, like, try a boost to the moon or anything. Probably limited to, like, 6 pounds, maybe. Which, I think that's about all this turbo is going to put out for boost anyways. Because it's very small. So, should be fine, I would think. At about 6 pounds. Just get a nice blow-off valve at 6 pounds. Should be good. And this thing has an internal wastegate, which is kind of nice. Because most have external wastegates, but this one's internal. So I just gotta put something on the back of it to vent it. But other than that, we're golden. See, actually, no. Old school. I'm not putting an intercooler on it. Because I don't need to. Like, there is no point putting an intercooler on this. Really isn't. What I'm gonna end up doing is, because it's gonna be so much simpler setup. This is going to be, and you're not buying a manifold for this. There is no turbo manifold for an inline six from Ford, unless if it's a 300. Then there is, but 200s don't. Everything that I'm making, the only thing that's going to, like the blow-off valve is going to cost me money. And the custom mount to get this onto my stock manifold will cost me money because I have the EGR, right, still bolted to the manifold. So unbolt all of that, get the fab or the machine shop here in town to custom fab me a mount to put the turbo on it. And then it's just running lines and stuff like that. It'll probably cost me in the end $50 for everything, right? So it's not too bad, really not too bad at all. Like oil lines and stuff like that. Well, that's simple too, right? It really won't cost me hardly anything to mount this. Yeah, it's fair. I mean, Hondas have a lot more aftermarket than a 200 inline six. And here's the thing. V8s don't get fuel economy. Inline sixes do, right? And the thing is, why would I pull stuff off of a V8? Because it doesn't make any sense to do that. Because no V8 is going to have any parts I need, right? And you'd be surprised. You'd definitely be surprised. Because the thing is, the carburetor alone, putting that on, is probably going to add about 25-ish horsepower. Just from a 2-barrel upgrade, because they really are choked down. Here's the thing. C4, okay, C4 automatic, not gonna blow that up. The initial, the 7.5 rear end is not staying in the car, but honestly, you're not gonna grenade that with a, with this turbo, for example. Like, that rear end, unless you put slicks on it and making like 350 horsepower, you won't blow up that rear end, and the transmission will be just fine. It's a C4 automatic. They're a great tranny. And yes, I have been watching some of the Barrett-Jackson, actually. Obviously, haven't been watching it for better part of 3 hours now. But, yeah. It's been pretty good, actually. And there was, there's been some cool stuff go across the block. So far, I love watching Barrett-Jackson. I'd love to go down there, to be honest, for it one of these times, but money. It's always money, because I'm always broke. See, I don't get jealous of what other people have. I really don't. Like, I get to, hey, I want some of that stuff, but the thing is, with me, I love what I have. And it would take a lot to pry my car away from me. Like, I was talking with a guy actually out at Greg's place today. I can't remember his name. I've met him before, though, on a few occasions, mostly at the pros. But, yeah, he came in from somewhere near Red Deer. And, I was just chatting with Greg, and they were going to go for a ride out to Bearberry and stuff like that. They're probably back home by now, but, or at least back at Greg's for now. But I told him, like, with my car, because I was mentioning my convertible, Lilo, that, I sold her quite a while back. And, he actually said, like, good, you shouldn't get any connections with the cars. Was like, I have a connection to Stitch, quite a big one. Like, at this point, nobody's going to be able to pry her out of my hands. There's just no way. The car has way too much history with me. It's my first car, it's going to take a lot for somebody to try and pry her out of me. And again, I don't really want to sell her ever. Okay, so with the car, I have had 5 different people offer me $6,000 on the car. I've said no to every single one. Like, I said yes to one guy, but he actually never got back to me, and that was quite a while back when I would have been making money on the car. But since then, I've been getting more. And the thing is, $6,000 is actually a healthy number on the car. I'd be losing money at that point, but really not that bad considering. I have over $7,000 into the car. I don't keep tabs anymore of 100% what I have in the car, but I know it's over $7,000. Because I used to pay attention, now I don't, because I don't care anymore, right? It's just, rough numbers at this point. But, yeah, and it's like, because it's really hard to find a notchback Fox body that is a solid car. Because everybody knows that's a very solid car. Yeah, see, and I mean, and I could sell it, but why? Nothing is gonna replace that car in my heart. You know, if you don't have an emotional attachment to a car, you don't understand. Like anytime I think about selling my car, I actually get emotional about it. I do. And the thing is, I love that car. Now, could I get something that, in the end, I could potentially more enjoy? Yeah, of course. With $6,000, fuck yeah. But not. I don't know if I'll have the emotional attachment to anything like that. Okay, that's a BMX bike though. It's not the same thing, right? Like, you know, it's not like, hey, that was your first bike and you modified the crap out of it and you've had it for so long. Like, I've had my car, granted, it's only been 2 years, but I've rebuilt that thing from the ground up. You know, and I've built my entire YouTube channel around that car. Yes, I've added to the fleet since then, and I've subtracted from the fleet since then. But that's what started it, right? It's kind of like if Dylan McCool sold his Challenger, you know, and he would never sell that car. Like Dylan McCool, he's a big YouTuber, and he gets people wanting to buy his Challenger all the time, but he's never gonna sell it because that's like his pride and joy in his collection, right? I'm sure he'd probably sell the Mustang well before that. And yeah, it's like that car, you know. I have no interest in selling it. Like, because there's something about when you get an attachment to a car, you're gonna regret it if you sell it, right? Like it's just one of those deals where they're that's not a car you can replace. Like, yes, you can, but no, you can't. Not with the configuration it has or anything like that. Like, yeah, could I go find another notchback Fox body with an inline six? Yeah, I think I know about two that I can go buy for not a lot of money. But it's just not the same, right? That car has been through so much with me. And when I've been at some of my lowest points, when I've been at my higher points, I've always had my car there. Exactly. So you're saying go sell it and grow, but you just said you're not going to sell your CRX, even though you've been offered 20 grand for it, right? It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. You see, you see a car that, I mean, you don't really care as much. Like, yeah, exactly. Like with Teen Mechanic, because he just mentioned it. The Monaco that I sold him, he does regret selling that to this day. Because just won't, he's likely not going to find another Monaco like that. To be honest. I don't think I'll ever find another one. Not quite to that one that had, you could trace the history back and everything like that with that car, which was cool. Technically speaking, because he didn't register it, whoever owns it right now is the second owner of the car. That guy in Nova Scotia, right? It's just so cool. And I'm glad it's hopefully getting the love that it deserves out there. But, it's just one of those deals. Like, we all sell cars that we regret. Like, I don't necessarily regret selling Lilo. I miss the car. That's all. I wouldn't have been able to afford what I've been doing or anything like that if I didn't sell that car. So there is that, right? Like, yeah, could I technically sell Stitch right now, put the Lumina on the road under my name, Nick's Garage. I might be. I don't know. I'm subscribed to so many people and I don't see all of their content, to be honest. Like, it is so hard to remember who all I'm subscribed to because it does get to the point of where, like, I don't always remember, right? But it's all good. It's all good. I might be though, because I think actually, I think if that's who I think it is, I think I might be, because I think he's He is in actually the group chat, if I'm not mistaken, if it's the same guy I'm thinking of. That Novitaz has on my on Facebook. We have a group chat for some of the YouTubers, right? And we chat in there and have a good time. The Greek Mopar guy. Might not be the same guy then. No, I don't think it's the same guy. I don't think it's Greek. But, and I can't remember if he's a Mopar guy. It's been a while, to be honest. I've been so busy, I haven't even paid attention to the chat much lately. Which, and I mean, tomorrow, I don't know, will I do the live stream with Novitaz? I might tomorrow. But it might not be until next week for that, either. I don't know his last name, sorry. That doesn't ring a bell to me at all. Like, but again, I don't know people's last names. Like, hardly at all. Like, yeah, there's a lot of names that they just meld together because I know so many people. No worries, old school. Catch you later. Thanks for coming on to the live stream. Yeah, and as you can see, I'm doing this on my phone, so I can't have guests up here. I'd have to set it up through the computer. And your name is Rob. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, what the? What was that? Oh my god, I was just laughing at that, to be honest. It's like, okay. And old school deleted his comment. I found it funny. Like, he probably was a scammer or a spammer, but that was funny. Oh god. It's all good, old school. You can go. I can handle it. It's not the end of the world. If he happens to be, you know, a weirdo, I'll take care of it. But yeah, that was just so random. Oh, the wind's starting to pick up. See you around. Yeah. Ooh. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit out here. Getting a little colder. Not cold enough to go inside yet, but cooler. That's a pretty healthy number on that DeVille. Like, because doesn't it still have the coolant link and stuff like that on it too? If that $1,400 offer is legit, that's not a bad deal. Really not. Like, yeah. And to be honest, you could do a little bit with that $1,400 too, right? You know, because what I would attempt to do for you, although it's kind of hard for you to do at times because you typically get attached to vehicles more than I do, but just invest it, you know, into another car or something like that and flip that, you know, and keep doing that and build your portfolio. Mind you, you have flipped a few cars, so I will give you that. You're actually way ahead on stuff than I have, but you've sold more vehicles than I have too. Well, here's the thing. Like with that car, are you really gonna drive it? Plus, you do need to sell cars. Like, you have 4 cars right now, and you don't have a driver's license. And I know your dad is going nuts with all the vehicles there. Like, you know, because you do have to think about him too, right? I'm sure he'd love for a car to be gone. Because you have the Suburban parked out on the street, you have the LTD in his driveway, you have the Eldorado in the garage, and then you have the DeVille in the garage too. Which, to be honest, I'm surprised that it's not the the LTD in the garage and the DeVille in the driveway, but that would be my personal choice anyways. But, I mean, for me personally, I don't have, like, a vested interest in... Oh, okay, they have switched, okay. Like, like I don't have a vested interest in that generation of DeVille. Like for me, it's just another car, and it doesn't really, they're kind of cool in their own way, but it's not like, hey, this is such a like really amazing car to me, anyways, right? And it's nothing against the car or anything like that. It's just personal choice, right? But actually, I might. Hang on. I'm going to swap over to my car because it's starting to get a little chilly. Just with the wind. Oh, that's fair. I understand your attachment to the car. I really do. But I don't know. I mean, it's just now. Granted, that is one of the better North Stars. I'll give you that. But it's still a North Star, right? Like, there is that going on with it. Hang on. Gotta close it. There we go. Let's just go back into my car. Ah, there we go. That's much warmer in here. Turn that. I love this dash mount. For the time, it was actually a fantastic engine, but just over time, they had their issues, right? But yeah, it's just I know you're being sarcastic, but it's just it's one of those deals. Like I would, I don't know, I would definitely consider in your boots. And here's the thing: you're not losing money, right? When somebody gives you cash in hand, and you're not losing money, that's the one thing too, because nobody's ever given me like cash in hand regarding my own collection, right? Anything that's been cash in hand has been like stuff I'm flipping, or which I've only flipped 2 vehicles now. Oh, 3 if you count the bike, but that was years ago. Because I had that bike. How long ago was that? It was never on YouTube. That bike 6 or 7 years ago. I had that bike. Which that was no, it was a wrecked. Didn't have a motor or tranny, but it was a Kawasaki ZX14. Great bike, honestly. In their day. And I ended up selling that whole thing. My dad pulls up beside me as I'm doing a live stream. That's funny. What time is it? Oh, it's 6:15. Holy crap. I didn't realize how late it was. Hi. I am doing a live video right now, yeah. But yeah, and I just have it parked here because I wanted to get the EGR off, but I had to spray it. I didn't want to move it back into the driveway in the morning. So, yeah. It's all good. Yeah, my dad's home. But yeah, he's a security guard at pot plant here in town. So, he gets paid to watch grass grow. It's a pretty decent gig, actually. But yeah. And, because with the, well, you can see up front there, with the Civic, figuring out stuff with it, of what we're gonna do 100%. We are gonna get it on the road. Just how we're gonna do it. I might see with buddy of mine, Paul, because I'm gonna be working on the Cosworth, seeing if maybe he has room for it and we can work on it there would be kind of cool. But that's my plan, anyways. So asking him about that. And that's telling you guys, and also telling my dad that too, because he's right there. Because you're not gonna work on it, so.
No, I had intentions, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. I understand.
I lost my sense of humor. I love it. I love it more when it's driving.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
The Ajax working.
He is so obsessed with that A-track rigging. It's just hilarious. Like, I love the A-track too, but he is like way like.
It's just cool because nobody's got it.
This is true. But yeah, anyways, this has been going on for 2 hours and 55 minutes now, so I'll probably end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this little live stream. And yeah, I will catch you in another video. Hope you're staying safe during COVID-19, and good luck with whatever you're working on. And you know, well, you guys know how to contact me. So yeah, anyways, bye. Pikachu!